If you're looking for exclusive content, please don't look any further than joining the Trap Talk Patreon family. Some of the best reptile keepers in this industry are part of the Trap Talk Patreon family. As soon as you join the Patreon family, you connect to a Discord. You can also tap into an Instagram group chat, connect with some of the most diverse keepers we have in the reptile hobby today. Shout out to my Patreon members and be ready for Trap Fest 2026. It's going to be one of the biggest events yet. Find all information again in the very first link in the description below. And again, thank you so much to all my fellow Patreon members out there. Cheers!
T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0.
Trap Talk Reptile Network, coolest reptile network in the world, episode 767, the return of Justin Kobylka, one-on-one with me and Justin. This is going to be epic. It's been a long time since I just had a one-on-one chat here on Trap Talk and with Justin, and I'm looking forward to it. If this is your first time listening, do me a favor. Let's hit that like button, especially if you're a Kobylka fan like myself. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, select all. You'll be reminded of every episode released out of the network. 7 days a week, you get a brand new episode right here on the Trap Talk Reptile Network. So wherever you listen to any of these episodes, thank you so much. Appreciate all the love and support, guys. And yeah, man, ball python, leverage, hope you guys are ready, man. We're going to get into Justin's top 3 productions of all time. It's 2026. Justin's done a lot of work. Okay. So there are some heat to select from on tonight's episode or today's episode. So before we get moving, gotta say shout out to tonight's sponsor, Clutch, the #1 ball python organization app in the game. If you're just now coming into the ball python game, make sure you stay organized, make sure you stay cutting edge, make sure you are using Clutch. A lot of new features with Clutch, which we'll get into with Justin today. But yeah, shout out to anyone out there who's using Clutch. And even if you've been in the game, you're not organized, it's never too late to get organized. So make sure you go check out Clutch. Go to their website in the description below. Try them free for 30 days. Drop a comment. Let me know how you're liking Clutch if you're using it. We've got nothing but amazing feedback from anyone using Clutch. So thank you so much. Again, Clutch and the entire Clutch team. Also, today's episode is brought to you by Focus Cube Habitats, #1 PVC enclosures in the game. Everything you see behind me are 3x2x2 PVC design enclosures from Steven and Ashley out of Texas. So looking forward to getting even more Focus Cube enclosures. At this point, I say 98.9% of my caging is all Focus Cube in my room. So thank you so much. Again, Focus Cube Habitats for all the hard work and looking forward to adding more, like I said. So also today's episode is brought to you by ZoomEd, the #1 reptile brand in the industry for just shy of 50 years now. Make sure you get your next reptile product at zoomed.com. You can find all the latest products, ZoomEd products in description below. Right now, my favorite product being the Slither Sense. I got many Slither Sense devices in a lot of my enclosures, showing me the humidity and the temperature even when I'm gone. Everything's remote, so it's awesome to have. Again, thank you so much, ZoomEd and the entire ZoomEd team, for everything that you do. Also, tonight's episode is brought to you by Mark Bailey of Mark Bailey Reptiles. I just left Mark's place last week, visiting him, Workshop Reptilium, the Phenom guys, and I got to tell you, there's an amazing vlog being put out on Morph Market's YouTube channel tomorrow morning, 8:45 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Make sure you head over to Morph Market's YouTube channel, set your reminder for that vlog. This is going to be something you guys don't want to miss. So thank you so much, Mark, for taking me over to your place and showing me all your amazing projects. Mark doesn't like to show a lot of his stuff off, but again, I got a legit behind the scenes and an in-depth look at all his projects that I put out on a vlog for you guys tomorrow. Okay. And if you want early access to that vlog, if you want to watch that now, just simply go over to my Patreon, click the very first link in the description below, and you can watch that vlog right now. You don't have to wait. So again, thank you so much, Mark Bailey over at Mark Bailey Reptiles. Last but not least, shout out to Morph Market and Morph Market Shipping. If you're looking for your next reptile, no better place than morphmarket.com. You can select from many different species. There's plants, there's aquatics, so much cool stuff on Morph Market's website, and you can ship directly through Morph Market as well. Save yourself a lot of money with their labels. They are the cheapest rates in the reptile industry for over 2 years now. So thank you so much, Morph Market and Morph Market Shipping, for everything that you do, all the hard work coming out of Morph Market. It's an entire team, guys. So give props to the team. Appreciate everything. I'm so excited to be a part of this team as well. So yeah, man, shout out to MORPH Market shipping. Little different time, right? You know, I don't really do morning shows, but I appreciate them. I'm not gonna lie. And you know, my energy is usually top notch in the morning. And so we're gonna get right into it, guys. We have Justin ready to go. We're gonna catch up on so many things. So you guys are in for a treat. So do me a favor, do what you gotta do to get your mind right, and do what you gotta do to stay hydrated for episode 767, the return of Justin Kobylka, going over his top 3 all-time productions. Let's go.
Good.
You ready for do more in the future? Trap Talk podcasts?
Yes.
Man.
Only Trap Talk. Exclusive.
Yes,
Exclusive. Oh.
So stop calling us.
Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crowd, gotta love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up.
All right, we're live, episode 767. What's up, Justin? Welcome back, my man.
Hey man, 767. That's something to be proud of right there. That's awesome.
You like that?
Yeah, I love that.
That's some Justin Kobylka numbers right there.
No, you got me beat by a lot. Well, I'm
Well,
probably
I'm
in the
just
same hundred range as far as videos in total, but yeah, you're blowing past me with these kind of numbers.
What's crazy is I still remember our first episode like it was yesterday. I'll never forget.
Yeah.
And also our very first in-person episode, which was at the hotel, like a few minutes from your house. Remember that?
Yes, I do remember that.
You brought your banner and we set it up in the meeting.
I think we did that simply because that's where the internet was good enough.
Oh, right. That's what it was. Because you didn't have Starlink at that time. That's what
Yeah.
it was. Oh, yeah.
Rural internet, Georgia internet. So now, yeah.
It's crazy how like passionate I've been about keeping it live. Like I've been considering doing video formats and just putting it out, but I like the live feeling. It just feels so real to me when it's live, you know?
Yeah, we get the input of the crowd here too, you know, and you know, vibing with us. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, man. Well, what's awesome is obviously your consistency over the years. You know, I've probably known you. We'll see. First time I ever met you was 2017 or maybe it was 2018. Which we have that iconic story when I asked you for an interview. I was doing a vlog and you're on your way to the bathroom. Remember that one? And I wasn't recording.
Yes. And so you stopped me from using the restroom and it never went live. It never
Right.
Yeah.
And then but you ended up going to the bathroom, which was good, but we never got that interview. Man, what's happening? You're coming off a platinum Patreon weekend.
Yeah, we had a fantastic showing. It was our platinum, so it's a smaller group. You know, the platinum is a little bit more exclusive.
Yeah.
And we had one in the fall that's the VIP, and that one's about 100 people. You know, typically are here for that one, maybe a little bit more. But the platinum, I think, was around 35, and it was a really nice, a great group of people, and a little bit more chill, a little bit more conversation time. It was nice.
How much is the VIP compared to platinum as far as attendance goes? How much more people are we talking here?
Yeah, he's like 3x as many people.
Oh wow, so close to 100 people at those events.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is fantastic. I love all the energy of having that many people. It just gets hard for me to talk to them all, right, and get a little, you know, one-on-one time.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. You know, I'm having my 6th annual Trap Fest, which it's the 6th one you're not making, Justin. I'm not gonna lie. We got to figure that out, pal. We really do.
I'm on a streak here.
Yeah. Well, listen, 7's my lucky number. So hopefully Trap Fest 7 will be where Justin pulls up.
There you go. There you go. You got
yeah, no, but you know, kind of going back to, you know, having so many people at your place and being able to like speak to everyone, it's crazy. I mean, it flies by first and foremost, but when you have 80 to 100 people at your house, it just, you feel like you're talking to everybody, but you're not. So it's kind of, you know, you do your best, but I don't know.
It's like a wedding. You don't really know who showed up. You can't remember, but they were there, you know?
Yeah. So yeah, you had your platinum weekend. You know, obviously you just got done some travels, right? You were in South Korea and Japan.
Yeah, I went there, went to 2 different shows, one in Korea and one in Japan, and had a great time. As always, that's 3 years in a row for me going to Japan. I think
cool.
I think it's just a great country. It's hard to ever turn up any opportunity to go. And it looks like I'm probably back in September. They're having their first ball python competition, like for an actual, like, I don't know. I'm going to be there as a judge. So we're going to be actually rating stuff, and it's the first annual. So I'm excited about that.
Hey, what if some crazy like high-end Japan breeder tries to slide you like 20,000 USD to be like, hey, vote for mine? Would you do it?
I hadn't even occurred to me that could happen. I love the intrigue of that, but no, I can't be bought, I'm afraid. Yeah,
that's true. I just figured, because I feel like that's a huge thing for them over there. Like, you know, honor and everything, what they do, they have a lot of pride, but I don't see them as cheaters either, though. But I mean, I don't know. They're human. I think humans are human, but
people are people. Yeah. I wouldn't put it past anybody. But you know what? We're not. I don't think we're overly rating based on. I haven't got the official criteria, but I think it's based mostly on looks of the combos, not necessarily on, oh, this one's really hard to make, but maybe some sort of multiplier based on, you know, difficulty plus looks plus. But I just know that whoever wins is going to be just a phenomenal visual snake. That's my intention, at least.
What are some of the things you're taking away, like when you visit Japan and South Korea? Like, what are they doing differently, you think, over there? If you could pick anything,
I would say they're not as beholden to our trends,
right?
You know, they have their own set of trends. I'm sure that they also have the same thing, but it's weird how something will kind of take off in country. It may be pretty common over here or not so cutting edge, but for them, this is something that nobody really has, and it'll kind of take off and become a thing. They tend to do combos, I think, that are a little bit more obscure over here. You know, my video, I tried to highlight a few of those, you know, just like I've never seen that over here. It's just, it's not that we can't make it. It's just they have their own ideas, and I think that's pretty cool.
But the Exantic stuff's pretty big over there, right?
They love black and white. You know, we're just joking driving down the road. Like it's hard to find a car that's not black, white, or silver over there. Like they like to be just that classy look. They don't want to stand out. It's like they tend to go clean. And so the Exantic DG Clown stuff in general has done really well. Exantic stuff in general.
I forgot who I was talking to, but I met him a few times. I met him at Tinley before. So is it Satoshi? What's his name?
Yeah.
Say that again. Say his name again.
Satoshi. Yeah.
Satoshi. 06 Shockwave.
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
It's not 06. Corrected me. It's not 06. It's 06.
06. My bad. We sometimes say O for 0 over here, but no, I want to make it right. So 06 Shockwave. I've been admiring that dude's like game, like as far as like how he, like it just as little as what he puts in the bag, like his merchandise for like how he hands a snake over is just so top notch. The booklets that he has out with everything, I'm like trying to take note of all that, and I really want to step my game up over here, like, you know, because now that I'm finally getting chondros, you know, sent out of here, you know, we're talking chondros that I've been selling for like $5,000 to $6,000, and I'm like, they should be in a bag like that. Like it should be at that level. I feel like.
I know, and we see it too, and we're like, man, we sometimes rest on our laurels a little bit and don't go for that full presentation. But he's really responsible a lot for building the market over there with just that marketing, and that presentation is just top notch.
He's a man. He kind of intimidates me a little bit. He gives me like Japanese mobster vibes. But he's one of the nicest dudes ever. Like, you know, I've spoken to him, like I said, at Tinley. He's very respectful. But like just looking at pics and stuff, you just like, all right, I don't want to mess with that dude.
Yeah, he's a big guy. Yeah.
So real quick on the topic, of you going international, like, do you see you could see personally a lot of these markets growing? Like, do you feel like they're obviously not even close to their full potential, but you feel like it's heading there?
Yeah, they're maturing in the sense of, you know, more and more people over there are taking it more seriously. The combos that are being made are really upgrading every year. You know, they've imported a lot of cool snakes. Those snakes are now, you know, starting to breed each other. And I just think they're up in their game big time. I'm not really on my finger on the pulse of whether or not their market's growing. You know, I know ours is kind of flat right now, and I think theirs might be doing better than ours, honestly. You know, as more people get exposed to it over there. But kind of how I've seen it since I started is, you know, countries kind of take turns being the hot place, you know, and when we're down a little bit, some other country is you know, getting excited, and you know, we don't. It's kind of a global economy, but we all do have our, you know, strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, we're still coming off of people checking out of the hobby from, you know, the big peak we had with COVID and stuff like that. And then you're hearing like people get out that you weren't expecting to get out, but you know, it's life. And I'm sure you've seen that quite a bit, not only because of COVID, but just the way the market has its exciting peaks and then it kind of dips, flats out a little bit, but then something happens where it blows up to the excitement again.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, I'm in the middle, just as a little tease, I'm in the middle of writing like an industry white paper.
Oh, cool.
I'm about halfway done now. It just kind of going through the full picture of how this market works and why we see these cycles, what someone, you know, might do in order to, you know, weather these cycles, whether it be good or bad. Yeah. And I'm excited about it. As I'm learning more about it, I'm like, well, you have a very unique industry, very unique dynamics, and everybody gets a little picture of it. But it's the first time I've ever put it kind of into one big picture. Like this is, if you read this, you understand how the whole machine works. Very fascinating. And it is part of a natural cycle. It's literally impossible not to have the cycle. And, you know, after I looked at the whole thing, it's like, we can't engineer it not to do this. It's just, this is how it works. So.
Yeah. You know, and I don't know, I'm sure you've talked to people about this, you know, people who've invested pretty passionately over the years that are kind of feeling discouraged with this flat feeling in the market. What can you say to these people to kind of get them out of their own head and get them back to being excited? Like what comes to mind whenever you feel like someone isn't sure? I don't want to say bored, but you know, there is a time where people drop a lot of money and then you can't just keep spending that money. You just got to let them raise up and do their thing. I mean, some people continue to spend the money, but you know, on average, that's not how it works. So I know there's times where people go hard, show off their animals, and then there's that waiting period, right? But I still feel like there's plenty of reasons to be excited. Now, you know, one of them that I could think of is keeping your mind down the road in the future. But I want to hear what your take is for anyone out there who's unsure, you know, about this flat feeling in the market, you know?
Yeah, when the market's flat, you have to find something that motivates you. And ideally, it's the love of the animals. It's the thing that brought you in. Now, if the thing that brought you in was, I mean, I don't think anybody's getting in that hates reptiles, don't get me wrong, but some people they like reptiles, but they see the money, and the money's what brings them in. Yeah. And during that time, when the money is not as good, you're going to have to fall on your love for the animals, right? And say, I'm excited about what I'm seeing. I have a vision. You know, you have to have that artist mindset or you say like, I'm doing this because I want to see my vision come true, whatever your vision is, you know, or I want to, maybe you want to make something someone else has already made, but you want to see it hatch in your place through your hard work. And stuff like that really gets you through the times when maybe, you know, there's not as much vibing going around and everybody's not all on top of the, you know, over the moon about, you know, the excitement of it. Honestly, this if it hadn't been for the craziness of the COVID boom, honestly, this feels like exactly what I grew up in this business. This zone right now feels like 2010, 2012.
Right. Uncertainty, like just like,
There's
you know,
uncertainty. It may go up, it may go down, but really it's about the combos, and that's what keeps you driving. For a while there, it was just like, wow, there's everybody to the moon, and it created this false, I don't know, expectation in people's minds of what it's like. This is generally a passion thing, and those who are passionate tend to win long term.
Yeah, and the thing is, Justin, as you know, like COVID brought in kind of money that people who weren't used to making that kind of money had no idea, like the temporary situation of it, you know, or just how there's dips and peaks in everything that we do. But god dang, that money was really good. And we're talking like post something on your stories and it's selling type of good, you know, like, but again, it just wasn't realistic in a sense. Like, and what's crazy is it wasn't realistic for those people who were just tasting that money. You got people who were just getting their first clutches and selling like a madman, you know what I mean? Which is great, but it's like, are you toughen up for the stuff when it's not great?
Yeah, that's true. You know, some people invested before and then they got a really good taste of amazing sales. Then we come back to normal. And some people invested during that time and never really got a taste of the sales, because by the time they started producing well, the market was already correcting and the demand was down again. And that, I think, is the most difficult position, because, you know, not only are they not getting the return on their investment they hoped for, but also, you know, the excitement and all that has kind of washed away at the time that they're now making snakes, right? And that's really hard. I understand completely relate to that.
And now it's one thing that's never going to change: people investing in something that might not ever give them a return. Like, it's like there's no guaranteed return on any investment in this game. Like, it could happen, obviously, right? Stars can align for you, but you don't bank on it. You just make what you want to make. And that's what it comes down to. Like, you just got to be the artist and say, this is what I want to make, regardless of the return or the financial gain. It's something that I want to make. And that's what people need to remember. Like, you're making what you want to make, what makes you happy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And, you know, in any investment, the timing is always a critical part of any investment. Obviously, if you get into the stock market or something, you know, you might get in at a peak or you might get in a trough, depending on what happens, you know, whatever economic factors. And that's true in ball pythons as well. If you're in it, though, for the love of the game, if you're in it for the combos, in it for the artistry, you will experience both the peaks and the troughs. Yeah. Right? You will have the boom times, and you'll be able to do well during those times, and you'll have the times when, hey, we're relying on this because I love it, you know, and then you get to experience all of it, which is a great journey. I've been through several of these now, obviously. But it's really, really hard if you bought the peak and then you see the trough, and no one really knows when the next time comes, and you've never had to have the muscle memory of just doing this for the love of the game. It gets hard. I get that, you know.
And what's crazy is I've had this conversation with some of my own Patreon members, but some people who just gotten in the last 5 years look at you as someone who's always had peaks. And I'm like, dude, no, like, this guy was walking around shows with his shirt tucked in his jeans with glasses, no clue what the hell was going on, but he loved it. And again, the level of uncertainty in early 2000s, Justin, you know what I mean? I mean, you saw what you saw, but you had no clue what it was going to bring. Zero.
Yeah. All I knew is I loved it, and I got it to where it wasn't costing me money. I got to where I could at least break even. And I'm like, I could do this forever, just breaking even, because it's so much fun and it's just so exciting, you know.
But again, it's like, I get it, man. You could invest all crazy, but if that passion isn't there for the reptile itself, like if you're not in this just for the sole purpose of keeping reptiles, the money will have an effect on you. Like, it's going to mess with your mood. And that's what's crazy, is like money kind of changes things. And if that's the main motive over keeping reptiles, I don't see how this is going to be a longevity thing for anyone like that. I really don't, because money's not always going to be there.
I don't fault people for wanting the money, right? And I know you don't either, right?
No, not at all.
I was making a joke with somebody. I thought it'd be fun for the channel. This is not really my style channel, but my style video. But I would love to walk into various local businesses, okay, restaurants, coffee shops, car dealerships, and accuse them of doing this for the money. Oh, you guys are just selling coffee for the money, aren't you? No, I really like coffee. No, but you just want the money. I'm like, well, I am trying, and that's fine. But that's what we do in our business. We and this thing is, oh, you don't love snakes. You're just doing it for the money. It's like, well, no, I actually do want to like make some money, but I would choose a different business if I didn't like coffee or cars or whatever, right? I do,
Yeah,
and,
I mean, that's true.
And so, it's not the pejorative that people think it is to keep people doing it for the money. However, if you don't actually like the industry you're in, if it's not really, that doesn't actually speak to you, then it will get hard when the money's not as easy. It will get hard, and you'll think, oh, maybe the grass is greener somewhere else. Maybe the amount of time, because I'm not so emotionally invested in it, maybe the amount of time is not really worth the return I'm getting during these slow periods, right? That's okay. Like, everybody's got a different calculation. Nobody has to be like me. Nobody has to be like you. If they want to get out, and they think something else, they want to try something else, hey, all power to you. If they want to stay in, hey, all power to you. Let's do this together for longer. But I don't fault people on their decisions,
And again, every time I speak, I'm speaking from my own shoes. Like, I'm speaking what my life is like. And regardless, my main income has to do with reptiles. Like, it's about speaking about reptiles. So I'm always thinking about like, yeah, breeding and getting money from that is great. It's the cherry on top, but I get to still talk about reptiles, and it's still part of my life. And for the average person out there, they go to a 9 to 5. And if you want to talk about average, people hate their 9 to 5 for the most part. Some people don't want to go to work. It's kind of been the norm. I mean, I had a 9 to 5 I dreaded going to. So when they have this to rely on, I could see, where that passion of making some sort of return matters, because it's going to get them, I mean, not everyone could quit their 9 to 5, and it's probably something you shouldn't do in 2026. But again, dude, like, people need an outlet, and it's good to have the reptiles as an outlet if you're a reptile lover. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is something where it's a hobby before it becomes a business. It should be. It shouldn't be a business that is a hobby to you. You know what I mean? I feel like getting a reptile business should come with time after you keeping reptiles.
I think you'll be successful if that's the case. I mean, I wouldn't prescribe that it has to be that way, but generally speaking, reptiles, and a lot of businesses, in order to do them well, you have to become like an enthusiast, because you're just not going to learn it well enough as just somebody who's coming in and looking at this as like again, if I didn't like cars, if I looked at an engine and be like, I got to learn this because I need to make money, versus I love engines, right? And I want to know how they work, and I want to know what, different cylinder types and different fuel types, and right. To me, that's where you're just going to outclass anyone else who's in the business if you love it, right? If you're interested in it for its own sake. And not that you can't do it the other way, but you're going to be competing at a disadvantage if you don't love it.
And the way I look at it, Justin, and this is just coming off, I sold a lot of chondros last year, and I've sold chondros to people I never heard of before. And they're excited, they're motivated, but I feel like there's a timeline where they want certain things to happen. And, especially chondros, dude, first keep it first before you're thinking about breeding and selling babies at a certain price. Just keep the thing, like, raise it up. Make sure you know what you're doing, just because that's more enjoyable than getting into something and looking at a calendar like, oh man, I need to make money by this time, or I need to pay this back to this person. And again, I feel like there's multiple different ways you could do this, but that just doesn't sound fun to me. Like, and you know what? I came into this. It's unneeded pressure when you already have enough pressure hatching babies out of the eggs, getting locks, getting females to ovulate, which is all part of what we do. Like, that's the exciting part, is getting your first ovulation. I mean, I feel like any ovulation never becomes a dull moment. It's like, cool, I got eggs coming. You know what I'm saying? But again, like, to each their own. I just feel like money changes so much and kind of dilutes the excitement of just being a kid again, keeping reptiles, No, you're right. I mean, it's a tough thing, and it's very, in a way, it's very anti-business,
because most businesses, it's just numbers, you know, ones and zeros. You got to spend a certain amount. You have to be profitable by this amount, right? And again, if that's your only calculation, I'm not saying it's impossible, but the market timing and everything, and going through those hard moments or little failures that are inevitable, right? Your snake slugs out that you were sure was going to lay, whatever, right? All the little failures, this passion that gets you through them and makes it so you don't like lose the spark, right? And that's not easy.
Yeah, and again, I don't know how long your run was before making a cent off any clutches. I know I was passionately keeping chondros for about 3-4 years before I got my first clutch, and then ball pythons was about the same, but nothing made me more exciting than seeing eggs. Like I didn't even think about the money. I'm not gonna lie. Once I realized, because I got my first ball python clutch in 2018, I want to say, and that was like, I remember selling them pretty good, and I was like, holy cow, I just got $300 for this. I think it was a cinnamon something. I forgot what it was. And I was like, well, I was more excited about getting eggs, but getting this money that's a cool feeling too. You know what I'm saying? But
well, you realize you can't just make babies forever. At some point they have to go somewhere, and then it becomes unsustainable if you can't sell them. So there's that moment too. You're like, if I can sell these, it means I keep going. It means I keep doing this.
100%. Yeah. And so I'm not going to be hypocritical and say, oh, like, it's not about the money. Oh, it is. The thing is, it doesn't drive me. It's not the determination. It's not the factor of why I do this. And I've made a lot of money breeding snakes. And I'm very thankful. Like, I'm thankful I could call this a full-time job, but it just was never the main priority. It turned into what it is, but just getting these things out of the eggs, and again, finding customers, because I still have people who buy snakes from me that bought my snakes from me my very first year in 2018. And I feel like if you're good at taking care of people, you'll always have that customer base for the most part. And it's cool to kind of still see those people around. With the amount of people that have left the hobby, I still see a lot of people I saw coming up in this game still sticking around. And, I feel like, I don't know, man. I feel like if you want to have longevity a part of what we do here, you got to have the passion of being a keeper before a business. But again, to each their own. I just feel like that burning sensation of keeping what you love should come first.
Yeah, it's ideal. It'll make the difference in the long run, big time. It's pretty huge.
Yeah. So, I know you said the market feels a little flat right now, but I feel like you grasp a lot of newer people coming in, and I'm curious how many new faces have you seen over the year or two? Is it increasing as far as that goes, or do you feel like that's kind of chilled out a little bit?
I think I do have a good perspective, and my perspective is unique to me, right? Because I'm getting a small percentage of people, right, who are interested in more expensive snakes. I think there's at other price points, there's a lot more business coming in. And from what I hear, the pet market has picked up a lot in 2026, which is huge, because honestly, the whole thing is predicated on the pet market. No pet market, no industry. That's really all it comes down to. So I think it both grows and dies from the pet side. If demand on the pet side starts to disappear, that works its way up breeder to breeder to breeder and breeder. And it comes back slowly the same way. The breeders who are making any more inexpensive animals start selling them quicker, then they start upping production, they start buying new animals, and it slowly works its way up to more expensive animals, right? Which also, But I think honestly, like I said, it feels like just kind of pre-COVID. I say flat. Flat sounds bad, but to me, flat is predictable. We have a really steady customer base. We have steady people who are now not afraid to spend money anymore. Everybody kind of feels like, hey, it's stable. It is what it is. If I buy an animal now, it's not going to be worth half as much next year. We're kind of back to a new flat, stable environment, which I think is perfect. I think that's the best case scenario. It will lead to another peak. I'm 1,000% sure of that. But for now, everybody can just kind of come in and enjoy what they're doing, and hopefully have a predictable amount of income from it, of those who are selling. Yeah, that predictability is everything.
So on the topic of people leaving the hobby, were you surprised over the last 2 years how many people have chose to exit the hobby, or did you feel like you saw that coming?
I would say it's not surprising. I think at any given moment, there's always a certain number of people who say, you know, I'm not really ready for this right now. This is not fit my lifestyle. I wish I could move on. You know, people, we talk about this all the time. You know, people get married, people die, people retire. There's a million life situations that says I can't be taking care of hundreds of snakes anymore or reptiles, right? Yeah. That's a big responsibility. That if a life situation changes, there's a lot of reasons to say this is not really my thing anymore. It doesn't mean you don't like reptiles. It just means I don't want to care for a large collection of animals that requires constant upkeep. I think what we see is when you have a busy period where the market's really hot and things are great, we see people don't want to step out during that time because it's just so, I mean, the money's good. It's relatively easy. There's high demand. So people don't want to make a change during that time. But when it slows down again, people start thinking, well, that was a good run. You know, I'm going to do something different. In reality, they probably quit some other hobby to start reptiles too. Some people like to move through hobbies. I know several people like that in my family. They just go from hobby to hobby, you know? I think it's pretty normal, pretty human.
And again, like to each their own. I'm just speaking from my point of view. Like I got into this hobby and I don't want to, you know, I'm not gonna say I don't want to be a part of no other hobby, but this is what I know. I love the reptile hobby more than anything I've ever done in my entire life. But it's consumed my life. Like it's literally my life. And again, it's a lot easier when you do this for a living and you have a podcast all about reptiles. You could comfortably say this is all I do. And not everyone's in that boat. You know what I'm saying? But oh man, again, if you're a reptile lover, I don't know a better hobby. I don't.
It is all consuming though. You know,
it is. Yeah. Right.
And I see some. You know, my parents are retiring. They're giving up a lot of stuff. They're like getting rid of their pets so they can go traveling and, you know, that sort of stuff. People transition, right, to other things. Yeah. And I think when the market goes a little slower like this, I think people start saying, maybe now's a good time. You know, I'm already pulled my production out a little bit. Yeah. I'm kind of enjoying the little bit of freedom that having less snakes has given me. Maybe I should just, you know, step out. And I think that's pretty awesome.
I mean, I don't blame people who travel a lot, who like to go places. Like if you're a go person and home isn't the place you're at a lot and you want reptiles, then don't go so crazy with reptiles. Because again, especially ball pythons, you could easily do ball python chores and go take off for 5 days and you'll be completely fine. But not if you have a bunch of rodents.
Right.
When you have your own rodents and you don't have anyone helping you with your rodents, if you're the rodent guy for your rodents, oh man, good luck. It's again, though, it's kind of like you're almost shooting yourself in the foot having as many reptiles as you do without doing your own rodents, because relying on someone for rodents is a dicey thing. Not only money wise, because you don't know the inflation with rodent costs, which has been crazy over the last 2 years, but you know, plugs disappear. Like your rodent hookup is no longer around sometimes. And I've dealt with that over the years. I remember I had the same guy for 8 years dropping rodents off. I used to call him Uber feeders. Like he never missed a beat. Okay. Always dropped off in my driveway, left an invoice. I'd PayPal him a week later. That's it. And it was the best. And then he got hit by a huge heat wave. And I think it was, the heat wiped out most of his stuff. And he was like, I can't, all of a sudden was like, I can't fulfill your order no more. And I was like, well, now what? And I remember like stressing out for a few days trying to find another source, which, I found one, but now I have to drive an hour north and pick them up. And, now I'm paying a lot more for these rodents too, because this guy who was taking care of me, now I'm going through a different guy now and he could charge me whatever he wants. And so, but now I produce my own rodents and it feels great. I have a shed and I'll just go in there and get my rodents whenever I want. But again, it's a lot. It's a lot to be responsible for. You know what I'm saying?
You have a lot of snakes and you don't produce your own rodents. You have a massive, massive supply chain vulnerability. That's just the truth. You are completely beholden to everything going right forever in order to your business to function well. because if you lose rodents in the middle of a key part of the season, you're not able to feed your snakes right. And you have to take control of that part of the supply chain, unfortunately. And it's not, you're right. It's like kind of the hardest part and then least fun part.
And I want to be straightforward about something because, I haven't had crazy ball python productions in like about 3 years. Like it's been 3 years since I've had anything more than 15 clutches. But a lot of that happened because of my food supply. Like I was raising my own rodents, which took some time, but I did not have that consistent food the way I needed it to get majority of my stuff to breed. I focused on a handful of females and I'm like, I need these to go, but there was definitely other girls I would like to give a shot to, but I just didn't have the food. They weren't starving or anything, but you know how it is. Like, how you have to be on a consistent schedule with some of these ball pythons, and that betters your odds of getting them to, not only breed, but to grow. Like I had a lot of sub-adults that I had to, sometimes feed bi-weekly because of my availability. And that kind of slows down the process a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You could easily feed a ball python once a month if you want to, but the growth won't be there.
Yeah, and especially during the season where you're feeding the follicles, they're producing, they're breeding. The odds of you getting a clutch is greatly increased by being able to give them as much as they want to eat during that time. So,
right.
Yeah.
And again, I didn't even try. Like the fact that I knew I couldn't give them what they needed as far as, in my eyes, to get them to breed, I just didn't even bother pairing them. I just took it as a time to like, all right, I need to really breed what I could breed basically and focus on those handful of females, which I've had done in the last 2 years. But now, now that things have ramped up and I've gotten things where they need to be, I'm still not crazy about breeding a bunch of ball pythons right now. I still have my at least 8 to 10 pairings that I really want, you know what I mean? But also I'm like excited to not have to worry about having any pairings that I'm not that excited about. Like I want to be the first one to pick anything out of those clutches to keep before I let anything else go. And that's how it should be, you would think, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's part of this whole big picture. And then you add on, for reptile keeping, if you want to be successful on the business side, you're going to have an online presence. You're going to have to keep track of what's going on out there, what's interesting, what's being made, posting on MORPHMARKET. It's a whole business if you need it to be a business, right? It doesn't have to be a business, but if that's what you need, it's gonna consume a lot of time and a lot of effort. And at some point, people might just say, yeah, I enjoyed that and I'm ready to do something else. That's okay.
Yeah, I've with my own Patreon, I've had people ask me like, MJ, like, what's your advice? Like, how do you grow on social media? You post every day. Like that's what you do. Obviously, depending on what platform we're talking about, there's certain things that you need to follow. Like YouTube is all about shorts and putting out certain video formats at X amount of minutes. And you don't
all kinds of things you probably don't want to be an expert at.
Right. But again, if you want to know how to do it, that's what you have to do. And you can't miss a beat. Like it has to be something that consumes your life as well. Like reptiles is one thing, but social media, God, that's exhausting. Like that is exhausting. Okay.
For some people love it and they live by it, and it's hard. I always used to tell myself, I remember whenever I had to do something that I didn't want to do, I used to tell myself, Justin, your competition's doing it. Now you're like, okay, they can do it, I can do it,
Yeah.
You gotta get out there.
A huge goal for me at some point, I don't know when it would happen, but I don't want to have to worry about posting. I don't want to have to worry about promoting. Like I want someone to just do all that for me.
Where are you at in that process? How are you making that happen?
I do it. Like how's it working now? I do.
How are you working towards having someone do that for you?
Making more money.
Okay. Yeah, get to the point where you can pay them. Right. I get you.
Right. Because, again, here's the thing, like having a social media manager or someone, it's not cheap. Yeah. Like it's like, and also it's a lot of work. Like I don't even realize how much work it is until I'm explaining to somebody, this is what I think I need you to do. And I'm like, oh man, that's a lot. Like, so post 2 reels on Instagram a day, post on my YouTube twice a day, and then go ahead and show stories about my episodes happening today. And it's just like, and then post on my Patreon for me. There's a lot that goes to it. And again, it's consumed my life for the last 6 years where I don't notice the work that goes behind it. I mean, I do, especially with 2 kids now. I'm like,
tolerance for it. You just think, you feel like this is normal and not even a big deal. But if someone were to step in, they'd be shocked at how much work it actually is.
But also too, it's like, man, I feel like whoever I do bring on board, if it's the right person, they will bring another level of posting. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I sometimes have to drag.
It'll be what they love. Yeah.
Right.
Like, feel like nothing to them. Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I sometimes drag my knuckles when it comes to sitting down, because that's what you have to do. You have to sit down, you have to stare at your phone, and you're there doing that. And again, I can't say I don't like looking at my phone, because it sure seems like I do, but there are times I wish I could just throw my phone over a fence and be like, I don't need to look at a phone for the rest of the week. And that can never happen. Like I have a cutoff. I promised my wife, like 6 p.m. I don't look at, I do my best about this, but no phone time after 6 o'clock. You know what I mean? Because it's getting the kids to bed. It's, hanging out with her. And I feel like also that has helped me mentally.
Don't pick any fights on the internet at 5:55 p.m. Right?
I have to pick fights on the internet, period, but I can't help myself sometimes. Like lately, I've pissed off a lot of scrambler people, dude, only because I'm just, it's a topic.
I caught that a little bit. Everybody keeps asking me about it. Yeah.
And again, it's mainly the ones who are financially invested heavily into scrambler, and I don't blame them. Like they don't have a lot else going on but scrambler. And when they hear how I feel and Emilio feels and Ozzy feels and Mark Bailey feels and all these people who are saying how they feel, it makes them feel some type of way. And that's why I say stop making the money such a thing. I feel like a lot of these people that are in my DMs, they are financially invested in it. You know what I'm saying?
So you're insinuating that if they were not financially invested, they would see it the way you see it.
No, not at all. I'm just saying they wouldn't be so upset. Like, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter.
Emotionally invested in the answer.
Yeah, it shouldn't matter what I say. If you love it, work it. Who gives a crap? Like, if it's something that gets you out of bed and you're excited to work that project, then do it. I mean, how many times, Justin, have you worked a project that people were just not a fan of, maybe, or they were just like, oh, I don't want to work that, and like it never stopped you from doing it? I mean, I'm sure that's happened quite a bit with your projects.
Yes, generally people don't say that. They say that my projects aren't real, but they're not interested in them. But also, I have a pretty high bar. I do really make sure that things are, quite legitimate. Problem with projects, I mean, I don't really have a strong opinion about Scrambler. I probably shouldn't even talk about the subject because I don't have a strong opinion. But the reality, I think, is the way I look at a subject like this is I think I don't have a Scrambler that I know of. And I'm not really involved, right? But there's 2 states. One is that it's real, and that's a gene, and that it's responsible for all these awesome combos I see. Some of these combos are amazing that they're showing, right? There either is a gene and it's real, or these combos are somehow looking that good and of their own accord, right? Selective breeding, whatever, and they're looking really, really good. I don't know the answer to that for sure because I just don't work it. But to me, I think if the combos stand on their own, just buy the combo and work it and see what you find out. I don't know. It's in the way we're fighting about something that is probably cannot be proven. You can't really prove a negative. You can't prove something doesn't exist. Right. And it's awful. It's also very, very hard to prove it does exist when the combos are so complicated.
I mean, yeah, there's a bunch.
Unfortunately, the uncertainty does hurt a project because people want to invest in projects with certainty, but I do think that even if the gene exists and it's amazing, people are kind of fast and loose with the title, and that unfortunately is can cause uncertainty. And uncertainty is just not good in this business. People want to know if they're getting it, they're not wasting their money. That if there is a gene, that they are receiving it in that snake, and that they can consistently make it. I think that's it's hard to quantify on that project, which is why there's so much conversation about it.
Yeah, and there was a time and place where people were spending a lot of money on so-called scrambler combos. And again, I could be wrong. I don't know for sure either. I really don't. I have everything I opinionate on is based off the evidence I see. And certain people I speak about, and like the origin, right? How it came from Ozzy's collection, who is the pioneer of OD, right? And again, I'm not too sure. I'm somebody to where, like, if shed test companies are saying we're probably never going to get a shed test for it, I'm out. I'm checking out for sure. I'm not, but like, let's say I heard that and I had some stuff labeled scrambler, I would still, and if the animals are beautiful, dude, yeah, I'll keep working that project. But the thing is, some people bought that project because they thought it was its own gene. They thought it was something unique and something special. And we're talking a lot of money, Justin, like thousands. Okay.
We know, but are you sure it's not?
I don't know. I mean, I'm confident it's not. Like, I'm willing to bet a lot of money that it's not. I'm very confident that it's not. But again, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And if there ever is a shed test on this, I will do a whole episode that is titled "I am so sorry to Scrambler." Okay, I don't have an issue.
The damage will already be done, MJ. You have already murdered Scrambler and then apologized for it later.
Hey, blame me. I don't care. Okay, I'm not ever saying I'm somebody who's never wrong. I've been wrong numerous times, and it shouldn't be something that steers anyone away from something they love working. If you love it, you should work it 110%. But one thing I get asked a lot, Justin, is why don't you work Scrambler?
Because I don't like uncertainty. I like to understand things. In my view, I would want to start with the most basic. If I could find a single gene scrambler, and I think I have been shown one, what it was claimed to be, that would be the animal I'd want to start with.
Right.
And I would literally put it to one gene, recessive or something. You know what I'm saying? And I would recreate it. This is how I like to figure things. Because I can not only can I visualize it and understand it, but I'm also can sell it with confidence, which is so important because people love refunds, and I love giving refunds if I'm wrong. But I don't want to give refunds. If I want to be right, I want to give what they paid for.
And that's another hot thing about this topic is how many people out there in Scrambler you think are going to get? How many people you think are going to get refunds?
Can't prove a negative. That's the problem. From a customer, you're kind of up a creek. Either it has it, which is great, ideal, that's perfect. But if it doesn't have it, it's really hard to prove something doesn't exist if it's not well defined, right? So I don't even know that a lot of people can legitimately ask for refunds. I think it'd be hard to. And that's it's that uncertainty that causes problems in projects, and we've been there. Mandarin and lace were a couple. There was a lot of uncertainty. People thought they had it. They reproduced it. I sold a few mistaken ones over the years. The vast majority were correct, but a few weren't. Refunds were issued because we got a shed test. But at least everybody knew what a lace looked like. Everybody knew what a lace plus this looked like each step along the way. Same thing with Mandarin. And eventually those projects, although they had some setbacks because of identification, they've come to, be real strong again. And hopefully that happens for the Scrambler. But yeah, that's the reason why I just want a simple version of it. If you buy one of those amazing looking animals, I would want to, again, some of those animals are insanely amazing and they're just so gorgeous. I know I can see why they sell the project. But what I would want to see personally is a side-by-side of exactly the same combo set, one with and one without. Be like, this is exactly visually side-by-side. This is exactly what this gene's adding to this other one. And maybe some of that's been shown, but that's what I like to see in general, is I like to see that. And so I can wrap my mind around it, exactly what it'll do. And that when I hatch them, I can say, I know what's what. That's why I tend to stay away from things. Plus, everybody's got to stay in their own lane a little bit.
100%.
I don't work all the genes. I work on the ones that I think people don't appreciate properly. And it seems like people do appreciate Scrambler, whether it exists or not. So people appreciate those combos. They're amazing. So
and there's some people who have enough in their collection where they are going off what their eyes see, and I go off what my eyes see. Like, I just left Mark's place last week, and he showed me so many amazing combos that look pretty on point or on par with some of these Scrambler combos look like. But he is very confident there's no Scrambler in the mix. It's just a really nice line of OD that I've had since the beginning OD days. Like, he traded, I don't know if you know this, but he traded Ozzy some Calico stuff for some of Ozzy's original Orange Dream stuff. And this is like 2009, I want to believe. And with Scrambler aside, how many lines have you worked that only turn better with time, Justin?
I mean, if you keep the best animal every clutch, yeah, it does get better over time, big time.
A lot better.
Yeah.
So again, I just go off what my eyes see, and I do see some really awesome, beautiful things out there, and I'm rooting for anyone out there. Like I hope that's the thing too. Like I don't come from a place of hate. I don't come from a place of trying to divide things. I have a podcast where we talk about ball pythons and we talk about current events, and we are opinionated on what we're seeing. And again, just because we are saying an opinion on something doesn't make us right. It's just our opinion.
Yeah, but with great power comes great responsibility. And I'm just being a devil's advocate, because people tell me this all the time. I'm not allowed to have an opinion on something because I have too much influence. Like I can't like Monarch more than Ultramel or vice versa, because I'm Justin. Like I'm not a human being anymore. And I'm sure people hold you to that same standard sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing is, you care a lot more than I do when it comes to that. I don't, like, because I don't make,
I'm trying to run a business here. I'm selling snakes, MJ.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get it, but I run
Your
a
business
podcast.
Is being provocative and having a great podcast and keeping eyeballs. And
as much as people don't like me, there's a lot of people who love how I am and how I keep it real, and that's how I'm always gonna be. But again, like if I say something, and if someone were to come and say, MJ, that's not right, or I think you were, it was a misconception on how you broke that, I will come on and say, yeah, guys, I was wrong. I didn't mean to say that. I mean, I know at least a handful of times where I've came back on a show and say, whatever I said last week, I wasn't accurate. I found information out, and that's what it is. And I think that's all that matters, is like, say what you want to say, but also own it. Like own it and just make it right if you were wrong. That's all.
Yeah. No, I get it.
But I love, like I said, regardless of the flatness of type of feeling the market feels, I feel like ball pythons are more exciting than ever right now. Mainly because the buyer market side of things, right? There are people who are not wasting any time, and they're buying some crazy stuff right now, getting some killer deals. And I feel like those people are going to reap the benefits in a few years from now. And, again, anyone out there who's doing that, you should be excited.
Yeah. And I'm so excited about what's being made. In the end, I think the ball python world kind of lives and dies by the fact is there cool stuff still out there to be discovered? And I'm as excited as I ever was about the next layer of things that are just over the corner, and in a way, they're always just over the corner as a new thing. But if that ever runs out, that'll change things. I don't see any change, any running out of the combo world anytime soon.
Oh my gosh, no. And the thing is, it's like we haven't even seen anything yet. I mean, we have, don't get me wrong, but I mean, this better than anyone, Justin. Like, what's to come?
Oh yeah. Well, what I think is to come, we'll find out.
Yeah. Time will tell. Listen, before we get to your top 3, which we have 6 snakes to show, Justin couldn't just send me 3. There's just no way. And I'm sure you probably could have sent me more, but we got 6 of them. Before we kind of look at that lineup right now, Justin, are you happy where things are at with your projects? I feel like 2 years ago, I think it was the temperature that kind of messed up some breeding for you, or you didn't have as much production. Are you kind of feeling that still, or are you doing good right now? Like, where are you at with how you feel where production's at, your projects are at? Like, how are you feeling right now with all that?
We had a really, really hot start to the year. We just got put clutch, 190 in the incubator for the year. Wow. However, when we look at what's coming, that's a really early start for us. I think our season went so late that it eventually became an early season. But when I look at like all the girls that are developing and everything, I think we're going to be right at our normal. We'll end up around 300 clutches, and it'll be the normal. In the end, the numbers are nice, but all it matters is what girls go and what combos hit or not, right? In the end, that's all it comes down to. So we take as many shots as we can, and then of the 20 things that we're trying to make, 5 of them will hit exactly the way we want. 10 of them will push us forward, and the others will miss. But yeah, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty excited. I'm excited about all the new stuff that we're cooking up for future years. as well.
So 300, which I feel like that's on an average, and you've always kind of reached for that, right?
One time we had 302, but usually we're in 275 to 300, right in there. 302 is our most ever.
Okay, and this is all year long for you, right? Like there's never a time where you're not getting clutches, or correct me if I'm wrong.
Seasonal. I mean, we don't do it seasonally. We just kind of breed all year long, and they just come up. We do tend to have a busier time. Like right now is our busiest time. But the incubator will never turn off. We'll always have 20 clutches in there probably.
Do you ever have a female, like a first-time female that is tough to figure out her cycle, or like, you know, you're just kind of like, huh, this is weird. Like, why isn't she building any follicles? She's 4 or 5 years old. And I'm curious if you experience any of that.
We have a handful like that. Usually we just figure it out. You know, we just kind of like, we kind of follow their feeding cues, you know. If they're up to size and they suddenly go into a feeding spurt, right, we'll put a pairing on them. A lot of times I'll kick them off, and then they determine when their cycle is, right? And then we just follow their cycle for the rest of their life, more or less. But we don't try to force females into any particular cycle. We just let them cue us up. We'll breed them when they start eating great and they go into a feeding cycle, essentially. We always talk about like waves of the ocean, you know. You're trying to surf. I'm not a surfer, but I do understand the concept. You wait for the right wave to come along, and it's better just to ride the wave than to try to fight your way into a spot, right? Sometimes you miss the wave. It's okay. You catch the next one. That's that kind of thing. And do that with the females, more or less.
Yep. Just straddle the board and just wait for that next one.
Yeah.
So that, you know, if anyone out there is wondering, like, how can you force a cycle? Like, are we talking about like feeding extra meals when it's unnecessary to feed them extra meals, or like what's?
No, you can force a cycle theoretically by dropping your temps, you know, artificially, and just saying, hey guys, this winter, it's rainy season, you should be breeding, right? The problem is that you live and die by the cycle if that's what you do. Because if we were to suddenly go in there and be like, we have these 4 girls that won't produce, we're going to drop temps on them. Like, we're going to drop temps on the whole room, and all the girls that are producing follicles or whatever, they're going to think they're off season, right? And they might reabsorb or something, right? And so that we don't want to screw them up. So we tend to keep our temperatures relatively steady. And then when I say a cycle, we just kind of watch for their feeding cycles. When they come on, usually when they feed hard, that's them kind of going into a food seeking cycle, which usually coincides with follicle development and, you know, breeding and laying eggs. So
are you doing all the ultrasounding yourself, or?
Chase does.
Nice.
Chase has taken over, you know, aside from me giving input on the pairings, which I do a lot of. I'll have like a little vision board here, you know.
Nice.
And he's doing most of all the actual pairing work these days and keeping the girls going.
That's awesome. Shout out to Chase, man. So how many years has Chase been with you now?
Oh man.
10 years?
More than 10. I think he's probably at least 12 at this point. Yeah. Yeah, he's had a little girl, and he's doing fantastic. So
recently, or how long ago did he have a baby?
He had it, I think, for Christmas. Yeah.
Christmas. Wow. Okay, I remember now. And then Summer had one about a year ago.
Yeah, literally a year ago. He just had his first birthday.
I remember because I forget what last time I was there, she was pretty gravid. And then that was February of last year, not just last. Yeah, and so. Yeah, and then you lost Summer for a few months, right? Because she was home.
Yeah, and then Chase took a paternity leave as well. So
you're like, what am I doing?
I know. I'm like, come on now. We need to.
You're like,
you get older employees who are done having kids.
You're like, I'm not saying having a kid isn't important, but come on.
I have 5 of them, so I can't talk, right? So
I'm just happy I have more than one, because last time I was trying to stress about having one kid, you're like, 1? That's it?
Well, how much harder is it having 2? What do you think?
Oh my God. What do you mean? It's insane. This is really tough work. 2 is no joke. It's not like
your first one's still in the toddler years, right? Still in those difficult.
Yeah, but I mean, like Leo's could be hard to, you know, manage sometimes because his energy's through the roof. But when you add that on top of a newborn whose sleep schedule just isn't as good as the first one was, like we had it made with just Leo. Like I didn't realize that till now, but he got a sleep schedule quick. Like he was just off to the races pretty quick. Number 2, not so much. And when you have multiple nights of sleep that are on the minimal side, and then you have to wrangle this toddler, it could definitely get hairy. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't want it any other way. It's having kids is the best thing I've ever experienced in my entire life. Like hands down. Yeah. It could even be even harder, which God, please don't let it. But I'm just saying, I love it. Like nothing beats having kids. It's the best.
You know what though? It's just like having snakes in a way. That's a terrible analogy, but the more you have, the more you can systematize things, and it's not that much harder.
Oh man!
At the same time, you clean them at the same time, and yeah, I think after 3, it's like adding another one is not that big a deal.
Like snakes.
Exactly. Just cook a bigger pot of food, and throw them all in the shower together. Yeah.
But you said after 3, so you're saying even the 3rd one, you're not out of the woods yet. Like it's still kind of.
3 becomes a zone defense instead of man on man. But after your zone, you just keep them between you guys and just keep them in the zone.
Okay, before we pull up the lineup, dude, I just want to say shout out to Gray, man, your son. He just graduated high school, right? Or is about
this
to
Saturday.
graduate?
This Saturday.
Dude,
yeah.
Look at him. That is awesome. And then your daughter's a year behind him?
My daughter and my other son are 2 years behind, so I got a little bit more time on them.
Okay. Dang, man. How's it feel to have a son going into college?
It's pretty awesome. I'm really excited for him. He's going to do really well. And yeah, it's cool to see him transitioning to that new zone.
Man, he gives me like CEO vibes, man. Like he's just such a sharp dude. Ever since I met him, I'm like, man, you're special, dude. Like I feel something special from him. But has he told you what he wants to do? Like what has he kind of entertained to you guys? Like what he wants to do?
Been working in the snake building officially for their first jobs, and they're doing really well with it. But he's not motivated by snakes. He's not a reptile kid. He'd be doing it for the money, literally. But I agree with you. I think he has like an entrepreneurial spirit, and he's a smart, quick-witted guy. And I think that he'll do something business-wise. He's not sure what, so we're just sending him to business school up here at the local college, and we tell him like, hey, if you have some great entrepreneurial idea and you want to chase it, then drop out. But for now, we're gonna start laying the groundwork.
I gotta ask about Wilder, man. How's Wilder?
He's killing it, man.
He's amazing. He's doing good in jits and all that.
He loves jiu-jitsu, and now he's playing flag football, and yeah,
flag football.
Yeah, he's really good too.
Is he pretty? He has speed? Is he fast?
I would say he's average speed, but he's got great hands. He's great with the receiver, and he's great at defense too. He knows to take the right angle on him, but you know what? Jiu-jitsu really helps with pulling flags in flag football.
Oh, I can only imagine.
He just squares people up, and they can't get past. Quick hands. Same thing. You go for that takedown.
Yeah. So Wilder's 6 or 7. How old is he right now?
Yeah.
7 years old. And you got him in jiu-jitsu when he was 5, right? Or it's been 2 years since he's been in it, or only a year?
He's been in about a year and a half now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Real dedicated to it.
Yeah. Leo turns 3 in July. I don't know, like I want to get him into it, but I feel like I've heard so many stories of getting kids into something too soon to where they don't want nothing to do with it at a certain point. So I'm debating if I should get Leo into jiu-jitsu so young and just kind of let him still be a toddler for a couple more years and then see where he's at when he's 5 or 6. But there's also this really good wrestling academy that's not far from my house, which the guy, he's very like hands-on. Like we wrestle all the time together. And I feel like with how much energy he has, something like that would be awesome. Because Wilder has a lot of energy too, right? Like he's
tons. Yeah. I don't know. Every kid's different, but I think that getting them into the sport before they start it is the key. Like, we showed Wilder, I showed videos of kids doing jiu-jitsu, like in competitions.
Yeah.
Like, he loved the idea of it before he got in there. But if you just send him into the mat for the first time and he doesn't understand like how far you can go with this, or, the fact that you could be a champion at this, or no goals or desires, then I think you'd burn out real fast.
Yeah, I thought about that because, you know, like Leo asks me like in the living room, let's do jujitsu. And I'm like, okay, cool, let's play, you know, like, and I show him competitions like ADC competitions and stuff like that. Yeah, and he likes watching it, but you know, he's somebody who's into something for about 3 minutes and it's like, all right, let's go do something else. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool, let's go. So it's definitely go. And yeah, man, I'm looking forward to seeing your kids again. I think I'm gonna be flying out there in August for Bob Vu's show. I think I told you that.
Yeah, we'll come stay for a little bit when you come.
Yeah, I'll be with Marshall, so we'll come and crash at your pad again, 110%.
Fantastic.
All right, let's look at this lineup, man. I'm excited. How hard was it for you to pick just these 6, Justin?
Really hard. Yeah, I went through some pictures that were well, I can't talk about that right now. There's a book coming out, but not mine. But I submitted a bunch of pictures and I was going through them all. So I think the main thing is I think I look at these differently than most people. There's a lot I've made. I mean, obviously maybe 500 plus new combos that have never been made. However, I don't view them all the same at all. To me, there's cool looking combos and then there's influential, which they're very different to me.
Right.
I'm most proud of the ones that changed how people thought about a project, even if the snake wasn't actually that cool looking. If that makes sense.
And so that's what you mean by looking at these differently.
That's what I was thinking of. Like the Batman. I mean, obviously the Batman's not sexy compared to today's standards, right? But it changed everybody's pairings and for a couple of years, right? The same thing for the Pompeii. It really changed people's perspective on the clown gene because everybody's going reduced pattern. Spot Nose changed it. Batman changed it. But when they saw the flames and the oranges from the Pompeii, that clicked the switch. Everybody's like, this is where the most fruitful path is, right?
Yeah.
On the Pompeii stuff.
Yeah, you know, I feel like you have a lot of I feel like you have a lot of pins that put you on the map, like, and this is definitely one of them. The Batman was a huge blowout thing for your projects.
Probably the first major one. We made almost all the leopard clown combos first before this one.
Right.
And they were good. But it was when Rennick came out with the Spot Nose, and the fact that I was already strong in the leopards, and I plugged it in, and it turned out so good. Like it didn't have to turn out this good; it just did. That's what really put the Spot Nose, gene on the map for the clown.
Let's kind of go back to you pairing the snakes that made the Batman, and you had no idea, right? Like, or like, what was the train of thought going into the project?
Here's what I knew. I knew that the leopard was good.
Right.
But it was very reduced pattern.
Right.
I made like pastel, fire, lesser leopard clowns right at that point, and I knew they were good, but they were all kind of looking the same. Just different colors. Right. And Rennick, one night, he posted on Facebook the very first Spot Nose clown, Ben did. And it was, I think most people thought it was ugly, honestly, because it was the opposite of what people wanted in clowns. Everybody wanted reduced pattern, clean stripes, pretty, pretty color, right? Right. And Spot Nose, especially the first one, I actually bought that animal from him. It was real dark and just busy and kind of dirty. And I just saw that snake and I said, there is no other clown that looks like this. And it's so crazy and deep and weird that it's the only thing I could think of that's going to work with leopard to create some X factor that I couldn't predict. Like, what happens if you do a really nice, beautiful, clean animal to a really busy, like complex animal, put them together? I didn't know what it looked like, but I just knew that I couldn't think of anything else that would have a bigger, change to the leopard clown than this. So literally that night I went in, I had a couple adult Spot Nose females. Nobody cared about Spot Nose at the time. Hardly. They were super cheap. And I just threw leopard clowns in with Spot Nose females to make double heads, or make double, like codom, right? So leopard Spot Nose clown females. And they already had the girls already had follicles. We got a clutch out of them. And I grew up a little male so fast. I think we hatched a Batman before Rennick was able to make another Spot Nose clown. Like I was on it that fast.
Wow. What year was
and
this?
It just happened. It could have been bad, but it happened to turn out amazing, you know, and it was so unique and interesting that it kind of turned on that whole, let's do busy clowns now.
What year was this, Justin, when you were like starting to connect the dots on this?
2008, 2009, I believe.
Okay. And then the first Batman was produced by you when?
I think 2009. I think that's what it was. I have to check my records, but I'm always off year-wise, but that was around that time.
It's crazy how foggy the memory gets after a while, huh? You're just like, I think it was 09-ish. It's like, you know who definitely had that issue was Mark, because I was talking about, like, he's been in the game for 40 years. And so he's like, yeah, man, it gets tough after a while, like trying to keep up, you know, with the years and, you know, for the most part, everyone's only about a year or two off. If they are off, it's not crazy, right. But yeah. So
I'm just going to do a quick search. No, I was completely wrong. My first one was in 2014.
I thought so. Okay. A little bit later. It wasn't okay.
I was way off, honestly. Yeah. 2014 was the very first. It's a female.
And you just made the one, and then did you make a bunch after that, or how, or what was the
I think I made 2 the first year, 2 in I'm checking clutch, 2 in 2014, only 1 in 2015, and then I made 7 in 2016. So I was, you know, starting to get the hang of it.
Yeah. And I'm curious, did you sell anything prior to 2016? Any of those snakes, or no? Did you keep
I don't think so. I think 2016 is probably when I started actually releasing them. For sure. And I actually helped. I don't think I showed it even for about a year because I was just so enthusiastic, and I was like, let's get a little head start going.
You kept it to yourself?
I think so. And I kept it to myself, the Batman, I think for about a year.
Wow.
Pompeii, I kept it about 6 months. It's harder and harder to do that.
I was gonna say, but we're gonna move to the next thing. But before we do, are you still doing that? Like, are there some? Come on, Justin.
Very little.
People don't change, dude. Come on.
But circumstances change. You know,
back
then, pre-social media, before social media was what it is now.
That's true.
There was this calculation between old mindset and what we have now. There's this moment where it's like
disconnection.
We keep things private because we want to get an edge on it. It's also because things are relatively easy to make back then, right? And everybody had the genes. It's just putting the right ones together. If you found some secret formula, telling everybody would mean you don't get to benefit from your own secret formula. But things changed. The internet became, you know, social media became so ubiquitous that the benefit of the attention culture outstripped the benefit from holding it as a secret. Plus, combos became so complex that even if somebody did know the ingredients, they may or may not be able to hit one the following year, even if they tried, because, you know, odds and all, right? So all the reasons to be secretive have gone away, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're so right, because where things are at now, you're doing yourself a disservice by not showing it as soon as you can.
People who are secretive lose in this business, unfortunately. I don't hate them that they're that way. But unfortunately, the way the world works is we have an attention economy, and people want to buy into projects from breeders that are innovating. And even if you are innovating, if you're not showing it, then you're not, according to the public.
All right. Well, you just debunked my prediction that you were hiding an Exantic Sunset.
See, that well, we don't know what it's going to look like, right? But that one might be one that if it's bad, you might want to hide it so you sell all your heads first, right?
Or until you make one that's nice, you know?
But if it's nice, you should show it. I don't think. Yeah. I think there's more incentive to not show things that are bad these days than there is to not show things that are good.
You know, Emilio, he has Exantic Sunset projects in his collection, and so I always tease him, like, you know, somebody's made it out there, they just don't want to show it because it's ugly. But if that's the case, I don't think you can't make a nice looking one. I feel like even if the first one is maybe not ideal, I guarantee there will be a combo that will make that Sunset Exantic project worth pursuing for sure. I think
that's true for anything, though. Anything could be made well, but it's a lot better if it looks good from the start.
Well, even Sunset, right? Like, because Sunset was hot, and then all of a sudden people started showing off their adults that weren't so hot. And so Sunset got a lot of pushback because it's like, oh, you're just making a brown snake. but then you debunked that for sure because I think it was a Cypress Sunset combo that you made, and I was like, damn. I was like, okay, that is ridiculous.
This yellow belly sunset clown we just made is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, the reality is that on the single genes, they almost always look kind of rough as adults until you fix them. Like if people saw an adult pied and a baby pied, they'd be like, oh, I look turned into that, you know, like regular pied, right? But we totally fixed it with all these codoms and stuff. Same thing for clown. So Sunset's not any different. It's just people like to be hard on projects that they don't, you know, they're not working.
Yeah.
Like
Scrambler. Yeah. Again, because Scramblers is one of many, like, you know, examples out there of what could happen to certain projects. You know what I'm saying? And again, there's no answer yet with Scrambler. It's not looking good, I'll tell you that much, but it's just one of many examples. I mean, how many morphs out there turned out not to be a morph? And it's just one of many different copies. You know, it's not just Scrambler. 100,000.
A lot of things turn out not to be what you think, or they're the same as something else.
Right.
But almost every morph goes through a cycle where people initially think it's good, but then they find out some of the combos aren't good, and then they find out some of the combos are really good, and like the market's, you know, on them, it's just demand, at least the price doesn't change as much, but the demand at least is up and down until it becomes ubiquitous and, you know, that level.
Until it hits Kinova's YouTube channel, and then it's woo.
Oh, then it's hot, right? Yeah.
Like
I mean, it's only as hot as the combo we can make, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here we go to the next one. This is a beauty, man. But let's go ahead and break down this snake right here. What are the genetics? And
well, this one is the Oreo. So this one is black pastel, yellow belly, suma pied, super mahogany pied. And I included this one. Obviously, that's not a simple combo, but I included this one because to me, the mahogany, the suma pied was very influential because it was the first time we found a way to make a black and white pied that wasn't, you know, didn't have kinking issues or super black pastel issues. So to me, that's like a snake I'm very proud of. Became a bedrock that you could work off of for the future. Yeah, and it's such a hot snake, and you can make them all day long without any trouble.
Okay, yeah, I was going to ask you. So, are you able to make these without having to worry about the you know, the deformity issues that they were having at one point?
Well, if you breed this to another one, you might still get super black pastel, but which would have potential issues. But just making these, you can make them all day long. Suma pieds, you can make them all day long without any issues. So that's pretty huge.
Okay, if anyone out there is like, man, I really want to make this snake, what would you tell them to pair? Like, what do they need to pair out there?
Like, I think we did our first one. We did like a black pastel, yellow belly, mahogany pied to a mahogany pied or something like that. But honestly, we found a whole constellation kind of after this one. We found a whole constellation of genes that get you into that window. You know, I look at it like it's a window. If you have any combo in this range, and it seems to be black pastel, mahogany, blackhead, leopard, you start to get, even Mojave works pretty well on this. You start getting into that constellation, you can get a pretty close to black and white snake with no health issues whatsoever. And, you know, the market, the public loves this stuff.
Oh my God. Yeah. You talk about at a show. Like if you have this at your table,
if you had a table full of these, I mean, they're hard to make at mass because they are recessive plus, you know, a few incomplete DOMs. They're hard to make in numbers, but if you got a table full of them, like you'd sell out.
And I'm not too sure as far as market value on this snake in 2026. What do you think these are going for? Like, even if you were to sell them right now, give or take.
This exact one, maybe $2,000. Not terrible. Yeah, but not necessarily pet level either.
But I feel like, you know, something like this won't have an issue selling.
No, it's like a dreamsicle, you know, like
right.
They're just, everybody loves them.
Yeah. And then what was the first, sorry, what year was it when you made the first Oreo?
Wait, well, I think we have a trusty clutch here. Let's see.
Hey, shout to Clutch.
Yeah.
Clutch coming in clutch.
Let's see. Hold on. Suma, Piebald. I love having all this historical data. We have 23,000 snakes in clutch.
Wow.
Every snake we ever made from 2008 till now, it's in here.
23,000.
23,000. 2017 is the first year I made a Suma.
2017.
Got the Oreo in 2022. It took me 5 years to get from a Suma to this snake.
And so making a snake like this, do you feel like it's the end of the road for a project like this? Like, I mean, because I don't know how much cooler you could make this snake right here. I really don't.
Honestly, this is an end product animal. I mean,
Right.
we could turn it, we could throw like lavender in it and try to turn it purple and black and white, which we're still kind of working on that. Although I'm not sure it's actually going to look better than this. But to me, once you've reached full black, like if your goal is a black and white snake, you've got there. You're there, you know.
Yeah, without having it being exantic, this is
right. This is really well. Even if you put exantic, would it change the look? You know, it might overage.
Yeah,
but yeah, to me, this is like something you just try to create more of consistently. Yeah, we're putting blackhead in this, leopard and blackhead.
Make it
just
darker.
Just to have different combos hit, they all kind of give that perfect result, and so you're not so Oz dependent essentially.
I mean, what I like the most about this combo right here is the black matches the eyes. Like it's like it's almost a perfect color tone. So yeah, what a great snake. All right, moving forward, this is definitely one of my favorites right here. Let's talk about this amazing combo right here, because I believe this is the Black Pastel Wookiee GHI Clown. Is this the Kraken? Is this what makes
the original Kraken 1.0?
Wow. Okay, so what year was it when you first made this snake, and why is it part of the lineup that it is right now?
So to me, the Kraken stuff gave us yet another completely different direction on the clowns, because you're moving away from that Batman Pompeii look, and you're going to a soft, completely odd look. And this is a shocker for me too. Another combo that completely shocked me. And it ended up being not that complex. In fact, our video this coming Friday is, I think, all about this snake. She gave us a clutch, and we had some awesome babies from her. But to me, this one, you know what? Who really loved this is the Asian markets. Just fell in love with the Kraken project. Probably because they eat them constantly. But it's such a cool look. It looked like literally like the arms of an octopus or something. And
yeah.
And to me, this just gave us another complete like 180. Like, whoa. You know, the problem with any project is people start to feel like the best stuff's already been made, and that's when a project starts to die, right?
Yeah.
So as long as a project can be somewhat reinvented and say, no, we have a completely different look that you can go for that was completely unexpected, it continues to have life pumped into it and people interested and everything. And this was one of those animals for us.
You know, and GHI is one of the very first morphs that got me interested in even wanting to do ball pythons. And I just love to this day how relevant GHI still is.
Yeah, GHI is a very powerful gene. And I think in a lot of clown combos, it doesn't work, but Black Pastel GHI is extremely reactive in clown. And that's kind of the bedrock of this project right here.
So kind of, I don't mean to get off topic here, but Super GHI stuff, what kind of luck have you had with Super GHI stuff? Because I've gotten mixed feedback, even with my own experience. I've had some Super GHI clutches. Like, oh, dude, you remember that one time I hit you up about those snakes that had the film over their eyes? And I'm like, and no matter what they would do with shed, it would still be there. And I remember I got that from the Super GHI pairing that I had. So like stuff like that. Have you experienced a lot of stuff like that with Super GHI? And do you pursue Super GHI projects or do you not?
We don't pursue them or avoid them. We've probably only had 3 or 4 clutches of Super GHI stuff ever. And we've not had any particular problems with them. They've been fine.
Okay, cool. Good to know.
I think it's the luck of that. You know, people tend to hatch 1 or 2 clutches, have bad luck, and they think, well, it must be the gene. And it's a lot of times it's just bad luck on that particular clutch.
Yeah, because I would say that's the only time I ever had that experience. And then, you know, again, it did kind of make me wonder, like, should I be wary about doing Super GHI stuff? But honestly, man, I you know, I want to.
Yeah, I think they're fine. Honestly, I really do.
And I'm curious with the Kraken, how strong has this been holding up as far as like relevancy in your projects today? Is it still pretty a good sought after snake from your customers and whatnot, or where's the Kraken lay at with the relevancy?
Yeah, it's been honestly really huge. it's been pretty crazy. We have not made a ton of them because they're hard to make. You know, this one's only 3 gain complete dominance, which is amazing. It looks like that. But
what pairing was this to make? Like, do you remember the animals that made this?
I'd have to look it up, but I don't remember off the top of my head exactly what it was. But we just hatched basically hypo versions of these.
Yeah, dude, wow.
And it's just phenomenal. It's like,
should there be a new name for a Kraken with hypo? Or is that 2.0?
The Crackalakin, something like that. What do you think?
Dude, I was not expecting that from you. Yeah, Crackalakin, dude.
If you enable my shared screen down here, I'll show you what they look like.
That was epic. That was epic. Yeah, let's show it. There you go.
So I'll just show you the few best snakes in here. But look at this. Look at this one.
Oh my God, that is Crackalakin for sure. Dude, wow, look at this thing. Oh my God. So there's chocolate in it.
So this is Black Pastel Chocolate Wookie Hypo Clown, but it was from that same mom. That original Kraken 1.0 mom was the dame to this clutch because she was had hypo.
But there's no chocolate in this one, right?
There's chocolate. That one is Wookie, so it's the same sort of thing, right?
Oh,
same,
okay, I see. Okay, I
same
forgot.
constellation, right? So this one ended up being Chocolate Wookie, the super form, right? Of them together, plus Black Pastel Hypo Clown. That was really cool. The next one's my favorite. I'll show you.
So that makes sense. So it's basically a super form. Oh,
right.
Wow, look at that thing, dude. Oh my
This
gosh.
is basically the Kraken 2.0, essentially as a hypo.
These are from this year?
Yeah, these literally just shut out like 10 days ago. So
these are mind-blowing, Justin. Holy cow, bro. These are insane. I will say the first one you showed me.
You like it better?
I mean, I can't really say it's better. Like, if they're just different in their own world. But this right here is insane right here. Like,
it's like a blue color almost, you know?
Yeah, look at that. And then obviously that's the hypo doing that.
Right. Oh, big time. Because we have the same snake down here as a non-hypo.
Dude, that's a purple snake, dude.
Look at that. No hypo changes everything.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a beautiful snake. Don't get me wrong, but it's not what we just looked at.
Right. And this one, I love this one. This is basically the Wookiee version of a Dark Knight, right? So Wookiee spot nose clown with Black Pastel Yellow Belly in there as well as hypo. And then this one turned out wild too. This is the same project with Redhead in the mix, and it's completely unexpected, very odd. Very odd how we have the striping and everything. So this is like, to me, this is where it's all fun. Like, you're discovering, seeing what works, you know, putting new things together. And yeah, there's some just phenomenally weird snakes in this clutch that are just wild, you know, like this one. This looks like that Kraken mom a little bit, right? It's got the little suckers. This is that GHI coming in, right?
Wow. And that's not even a visual hypo. That's het hypo.
Het hypo, yeah. But it has the same kind of like little suction, you know.
And look at the head. The head looks pretty on point from what we just looked at. I mean, wow, man. I'm curious what hypo is going to do with Redhead. Like in this snake like this, and the one you showed before too.
Right. Yeah. Very, very interesting. But yeah, phenomenal clutch. You go in here.
That's all from the same clutch?
These are all from the same clutch, yeah.
Oh my God, bro, you knocked it out of the park.
Here's the family tree. The dad was crazy for this clutch. This was the dad. Chocolate spot nose, yellow belly, redhead, hypo clown. Yeah,
that's the dad who made that?
Yeah, it's the dad to the clutch.
Oh my gosh. These are insane.
Yeah, man, this is what keeps you up at night, right? Figuring these combos out. Yeah.
Go back to the tree. Go back to the tree you showed, the lineage. Dude, we need this with chondros, Justin. Come on.
Dude, we're not that far off from getting it for other species. But yeah, you can go through the babies and
look at that.
Follow up or you can go to the mom and say, show me the mom's family tree. And so there's the clutch, the mom, there's the mom, her siblings, her parents, and her 2 clutches. You know, you can just work through all this and flip through it.
I love it.
What I loved is a few weeks ago, we had a customer who reached out and said, hey, we discovered one of the snakes we got from you was het hypo. The awesome thing is you bring it in here, you pull up that one snake and go, that one's het hypo. So this parent, one of the parents is posit hypo. If you can figure out which one of those, then their parent could be posit hypo, and suddenly you have 30 snakes to test in your collection because you're just filtering through everything and finding out, you know, what you have that all filters down from one original animal, right? That worked out. So yeah,
I'm obsessed with this family tree thing, dude. This is, you know, like I know there's other examples of lineage charts out there, but that's what I like. And it's all digital, obviously, too, which is amazing. That's where we're at in this future nowadays. It's all digital footprints. That's really cool, dude.
It's all created for you just by putting in your clutches.
Right.
It just creates all the associations. All you have to do is over the course of years, put in your clutches, hatch the babies, and everything's created for you.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Moving forward. So another amazing snake, black pastel, red stripe, yellow belly, spot nose, clown. Is that right?
Yeah.
What's the name? What's it? Pompeii. Yeah, this is the Pompeii. Man, this is definitely like a Batman moment for you when you made this snake. Probably a little bit more impactful.
Probably the most impactful.
Yes.
As far as change and just excitement for it. Yeah.
Globally,
it's the first time we've seen a clown with this much red in it. It's the first time we've seen a clown with the giant flaming, you know, kind of, you know, spot nose yellow belly effect, and completely unexpected. We did not expect this kind of result whatsoever, and you know, it was that moment of discovery.
So let's talk about you, like hatching this out, right? You know, you cutting the egg. Did you know, looking in the egg, it was going to be like this? Like, were you kind of just like in awe looking at this snake in the egg, or did it something, where was it after the fact when it came out?
It's like, yeah, it's like hatching it's like just hatching the craziest thing you ever expected, you know. And you live for those moments in the snake room, right? You put in all the work, you think this combo might work, and then you see it, and it's either going to be what you expect, worse or better. And this one is just one that was way, way better, right? And you know it's going to make a big impact. You know that it's going to change the game a lot. And for this one, this is the biggest one we've ever made, honestly. People are more excited about a surprise than they are about a good combo that's expected. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody knows certain combos are going to be good. Like, for example, whoever makes the zebra exanthic DG. Yeah. Everybody knows that's going to be a cool snake. Everybody's excited about it. And whoever makes it first, people will be like, oh yeah, it's been made. But they're already working on it. When you hatch something like this, that is just, how did this, you know, how does this interaction happen? No one expected this. That's the one that makes everybody go to the snake rooms and says, okay, I wasn't working on this, but now I want to. Right. Yeah. And that's that's what's really, really cool about some of these highlight animals over the years that have been really surprising.
Again, this is not an easy snake to hit though, right?
No. Well, we made our first one, and then I think it took us a couple of years to ever make another one. Yeah.
And then the DG Pompeii, holy cow. I'll never forget seeing that in person. I was like, what am I looking at right now? Which
see, I don't think the DG Pompeii is influential like this because it's expected, right? It's a hard thing to make, but everybody knows that you put DG on this, it looks better, it looks like that, but brighter, and it doesn't have the same effect. It doesn't change anything when it's made.
DG Pompeii wasn't as red as this though, right? Wasn't it like, what's the red?
I think it's a little bit more muted.
Can you pull it up?
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
Please. Because I feel like, you know, again, Pompeii was next level, groundbreaking, but I feel like DG Pompeii was just as groundbreaking from everyone's buzz after seeing it. Like, it was like Emilio always talks about that being one of his most favorite snakes he's seen.
Yeah, well, that's true. Okay, so here's the DG Pompeii.
Oh my God.
You know, it's pretty similar. It's just cleaner. It's going to look better as an adult, right? Yeah. We've made a few now. We've made a Fire GHI DG Pompeii. The GHI, talk about GHI, changed it up a lot.
Yeah.
We made this blank snake. It has way too many genes in it. Maybe the most gene packed was Leopard Vanilla DG G-Stripe Pompeii.
Okay, well, so you wouldn't try to pursue that again then?
I'll use this snake, but I'm going to try to put something really simple into it because what we want to make is something that's short of this, right? We want pattern, right? So I'm not going to try to make this plus something because it's not a good base to work off of, right? There's that one. This is the one that we recently showed up, the DG G-Stripe Pompeii. This is phenomenally incredible. Another one, that's the Batman DG stripe Pompeii.
So let me ask you about G-stripe. You still pretty, like, you know,
Dude,
pretty. Are you pretty on point with G-stripe? Like, do you feel like G-stripe is something you're gonna keep working with, or?
I'm over the moon when I
miss.
see this. This is what makes me
pretty nice.
crazy about G-stripe. Because no one would guess G-stripe in this if they didn't really know the project.
Yeah,
you know?
you're right. 110%.
So yes, G-stripes in their kind of standard form, not that exciting because you blank out patterns, but we have found the angle to incorporate it to make stuff that is very unique looking. It's hard to get there, so people generally aren't going to be excited about G-stripe until these pieces like this become just viable. They're not going to want to spend 5 years trying to get to an awesome snake. They're going to want to buy that snake. So it'll be a little bit before this, I guess, affects the market in that sense.
Is this the first triple recessive Pompeii ever?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Man, so you haven't made a DG hypo Pompeii yet.
We almost hit that. I'll show you. We almost hit it. Let's see. We just missed red stripe in it. We just hatched it too. Let's see. Hypo. What is it? Hypo. Spot nose, black pastel, yellow belly, desert ghost.
Insane. Oh my gosh! Almost.
So it's just missing red stripe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang, that is, man, that is nice.
Yeah, it turned out amazing.
Wow, look at that.
Incredible. Yeah.
Wow. And what's even crazy is, like, I wonder what G-stripe would do to this snake with everything else in the mix. Because does G-stripe and hypo complement each other or not really?
Not as big an effect because hypo needs dark pattern
to really do well.
To show that translucent blues, right? Or purples, right?
Yeah.
And so, yes, as long as you have some nice blacks, G-stripe looks good with hypo, but G-stripes tend to be kind of blank. And that's why we're putting all this pattern into them. And for us, the confusion is the biggest thing to put in. Confusion, black pastel, spot nose, leopard. These are the genes, and yellow belly. These are the genes that just go crazy with the, the thing. Hey, let me take a bathroom break. Can I do that?
You're good. Yeah, we're gonna cut to commercial break. So let's kind of cut to commercial real quick. I'll see you guys in just a quick second. Hit that like. Sorry for the interruption, folks, but a quick word from our sponsors. Shout out to tonight's sponsor brought to you by ZoomEd.
ZoomEd is proud to be supporting the Trap Talk Reptile Network. At ZoomEd, reptiles are our passion. For over 48 years, we've been creating premium foods, supplies, and habitats for reptiles and other exotic animals. We're a company made up of hobbyists that test our products on the hundreds of animals that we care for here every single day. Whether you're an established breeder or a first-time hobbyist picking up your first ball python, ZoomEd has you covered with everything you need to keep your animals happy and healthy.
I'm excited to talk about this new product with ZoomEd called the Slither Sense. It is a remote temperature and humidifying monitoring system, which we all know how important temperature and humidity is to your reptile. And for you to have remote access to your temperature and your humidity in your reptile room could really, really be a game changer for the longevity of you keeping reptiles. So guys, make sure you check out that product. Find the link in the description below. Click on it right now. Give me your feedback in the comments below. Let me know how you're liking a brand new ZoomEd product. Shout out to Focus Cube Habitats, the #1 PVC enclosure in the reptile industry. Hands down, everything you guys see behind me are 3x2x2 PVC design enclosures by Steven and Ashley over at Focus Cube Habitats. My entire room at this point, all Focus Cube Habitat enclosures, and that is for a real reason. My reptiles love them. I've had majority of these Focus Cube Habitats behind me for over 6 years now. So guys, if you're looking to expand your reptile room and get yourself some new enclosures, no better place to visit than Focus Cube Habitat. You head over to focuscubehabitats.com and see how many different design enclosures you could choose from. And you can also follow them on Instagram and stay updated with all current new enclosures on their YouTube channel. So thank you so much, Stephen and Ashley over at Focus Cube Habitats. and I think I got new enclosures in the driveway, so I gotta go. Shout out to Folks Q Habitats, you are the best. Shout out to tonight's sponsor, and that's the one and only MORPH Market and MORPH Market Shipping. One of the biggest exciting things about the reptile hobby over the past couple years is MORPH Market Shipping taking everything to the next level. Anything as far as reptile purchasing or selling needs can all be done on MORPH Market's website, so I highly suggest you go check it out, especially if you're in the market of purchasing your first, second, or third, or fourth reptile. You can find a bunch of legitimate breeders on MORPH Market's platforms. They stand very tall on representing the best breeders we have in the hobby, so don't look anywhere else when it comes to looking for your new reptile. Not to mention, if you're looking for aquatics or your next plant, MORPH Market's a spot for you as well. Make sure you head over to morphmarket.com, and the best thing about MORPH Market's platform, you could ship directly from their website with MORPH Market Shipping. MORPH Market Shipping has saved this hobby millions of dollars as a whole. I myself saved thousands with MORPH Market Shipping last year due to their insanely cheap rates, so definitely go take advantage of these rates on top of the amazing customer service that comes along with MORPH Market Shipping. Shout out to Darian and Zach, and shout out to the entire MORPH Market team. So proud to be a part of this team. Thank you so much for MORPH Market Shipping and MORPH Market, and so excited to announce new MORPH Market features that are going to be hitting the reptile hobby real soon, like live sales on MORPH Market. Thank you so much, MORPH Market and MORPH Market Shipping. Shout out to tonight's sponsor, and that is Clutch, the #1 organization app in the ball python game today. Also, tonight's episode is brought to you by Kinova Reptiles, the biggest world industry leading ball python company in the hobby, in the industry. So excited to announce this partnership with Clutch and Kinova Reptiles. No name that needs an introduction. As you guys already know, if you're looking to invest with the best, Kinova Reptiles is the way to go. And again, if you want to be organized, if you want to be ahead of the game, there's no better organization app in the ball python game than Clutch. Thank you so much to the entire Clutch team. Thank you so much, Kinova, and the entire Kinova Reptile team. Please continue to keep doing what you're doing. Nothing but inspiration, nothing but excitement coming from Kinova Reptiles and Clutch, and I'm excited to have more information to announce to you guys here in 2026. Thank you so much, Clutch and Kinova Reptiles. There you go. All right, my bad. All right, we're back. Yeah, sorry, Justin. I just saw your text message. I didn't know you had to use the restroom.
No, that's good. That's all good.
Okay, cool. All right, here we go. I think this is number 4 or 5. I can't recall. I think it's the second. Number 5. This is number 5. Woo, what a snake. All right, Enchi Yellow Belly Special Hurricane Spot Nose Confusion Clown. Wow, dude. Yeah. There's a lot going on here, Justin. Let's get into it.
Yeah, so this snake, man, the reason I chose this snake is not because of it specifically, but because people forget that Kinova, or Kobylka Reptiles, was the first to produce any confusion or acid clowns. We were the first to kind of start that process, and it was really influential at the time, not on the level of Pompeii, but it's led to really insanely crazy combos with confusion that look like this, that are just otherworldly, honestly.
Yeah, and again, something at this capacity, right? Like jam-packed with some of the best incomplete dominance that you could ever work with, especially in clown. Where do you go with a snake like this? I mean, I feel like the only thing that comes to mind is another recessive added to the mix.
Well, what happens in this moment, when you get to this animal, there becomes a really narrow path, right, to not have negative incomplete dominant interactions, right? If you add in another copy of Special, you have a white snake. If you add another copy of Confusion, it doesn't particularly change it. Another copy of Red Stripe, I think, would be honestly amazing. Another copy of Hurricane would be insane on this snake.
Yes.
You add another copy of Yellow Belly, you have a white snake, right? You got to watch out. If you add Fire, you actually lower the saturation. You don't get the pretty colors as much. It's all give and take. So yeah, with this codon wise, another copy of Hurricane, another copy of Red Stripe, Lace would be insanely great with this. Aside from that, I get it into the Desert Ghost project, right? I get it into anything else that's going to brighten and clean up and just keep it nice as an adult, which already looks pretty good. But yeah, you have kind of people ask me a lot, like, how do you choose your pairings? Like, honestly, I don't have that many choices. When you look at your animal and you're like, well, what can I put to this that doesn't create anything negative, that actually heads it in the right way? I have one male that works. It's not really a choice to make anymore.
Right. But anything that you have lace involved with, you're better off going white lace at some point, right?
Oh, 1,000%.
That's the end goal with lace, is white lace.
Yeah. Oh, 1,000%.
you know, there is some discussion going out in the hobby right now that white lace is going to overtake DG. What's your take on that?
You know, given enough time, white lace might become more common than DG, but everybody has such a head start on DG and already has. But basically, put it this way: a visual DG is like a white lace, right? As far as it's like two copies of the gene, right? They're essentially the same. And very, very few people have very many white lace combos, but almost everybody's got tons of visual DGs. So Desert Ghost is always going to have a real significant advantage on combos, on speed, on, you know, ahead in the market. I don't know that white lace is ever going to overcome that. Although I do definitely see a day when people value a white lace well over a DG, which I think is already actually true right now. People would rather a white lace combo than a Desert Ghost combo because of the how common they are and what you can do with it, right?
Right.
So
white lace is way more brand new compared to DG, 110%.
Yeah, and I do think the color's better, honestly, and the pattern. You have a pattern element to white lace is better, and they leave more saturation of more colorful snakes. The Desert Ghost tends to go towards that very pale, muted, beautiful, but muted look. So
if somebody were to ask you, well, can I just put white lace and DG together? What would you say to that?
We've done it and it looks good, but like most combos, it reverts to whatever the stronger gene is. Right? Okay, so if you do a Desert Ghost, if you do a white lace, it looks like this, quite a bit of color. Your Desert Ghost is pretty pale. We've put them together. We know what they look like.
Yeah.
But they tend to be as pale as a DG, only a little bit brighter. Right? So you kind of I don't know. It's like putting a something in an albino. Like you're not going to overwhelm the albino. It's going to go to a yellow snake, right?
So it's almost contradicting in a sense.
Well, I mean, I think you can get a better snake from a white lace DG that'll look brighter. I mean, it'll look paler as an adult, but probably you're not going to necessarily think it looks better than a regular white lace.
Yeah. Well, I remember the day you showed me a white lace. I remember the day you showed me a white lace clown after I was looking at a DG clown, same age. I think the snakes were 4 years old, and I was blown away how much nicer the white lace clown was compared to the DG clown.
Correct. Let's see. I'm going to see. I've made 3 white lace DGs. Do you want to see them?
Yeah, big time.
Let's see. Because I mean, you can talk about it, but being able to see it. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Looks like I don't have the picture of this one in here. We'll find it. 21. Here we go.
Is your clutch not updated, Justin? What's going on?
Some of the older stuff I'm still throwing pictures in.
I'm just kidding.
So white lace DG clown. You see it as a baby, doesn't have a massive effect.
Yeah. I see.
White lace hypo DG.
White lace hypo DG. I see what you mean.
But mostly you're talking about like the DG colors, and then white lace has the pattern on it, but you're not overwhelmingly changing. You know, you see that white lace belly on these things.
So you having white lace and DG together just isn't ideal for the future?
Not the stack that you think it is. You think, oh, 2 bright things make double bright. No, 2 bright things make it, 25% brighter, right?
I see what you're saying. That looks nice though.
Yeah. No, they look good. And then we made a lace hypo DG clown.
It's crazy how much stuff you've made, man. Oh wow, look at that thing. Woo! That is nice, dude. Okay, hold on.
Really well for us right now. So
that is okay. That's hot, Justin.
Yeah, it turned out really good.
Okay, I see it now. Oh, but that's not even a white lace. That's just a lace.
No, that's 1 copy of lace plus hypo DG clown. Yeah.
Wow. So maybe you don't need to do white lace, because maybe this lace, just a single form of lace, might look better than a white lace in this combo. Maybe.
I don't think it would look better, but
it
looks good though. Yeah.
Here's the thing though. I just feel like white lace, I mean, that's a super form of that morph, and you just can't go wrong having lace in a lot of things. So
there's no negative to it. There's no bad
No.
interactions. It's
Not
just
at all.
you can put it in like it's like vanilla or something. You can put it in kind of to your heart's content as long as you don't mind the color change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. The 6th one. And I have a feeling this is gonna be a part of the top 3, but here we go. Freaking groundbreaking snake right here. There's no pastel in this.
No, this is Confusion Spot Nose Yellow Belly Xanthic DG Clown.
My gosh.
Yeah.
Wow, man. I mean, even the first Xanthic DG Clown you made was just something to just make your jaw drop, but this is a whole nother level, Justin. And let's hear it from you. Why is this snake a part of the lineup that we are going
Well,
over?
it's not the specific snake. I just want to show the best example we've made so far on things. But
Sure.
Xanthic DG Clown was a huge, huge moment for us, especially because we had never really done Xanthic stuff. My memory might be fading, but other than black Xanthics, I don't think we'd ever made a VPI Xanthic before we started making the visual clown version with the DG. But to me, it was influential in the sense of everybody kind of knew this is the way to go, and then after it was made, bam, there's what there's what it is. Everybody knew that it was like really killer way. And then at this point, it's just pattern stacking. There's not a lot you can do color wise on these, but you can just pattern all day long with again with the confusion, spot nose, and all that. We can make a Pompeii version of this. We absolutely will. It's just going to take a while, obviously. But this is a very just years and years and years worth of work that we can add into this.
Just insane. So for anyone out there who's wondering how to avoid their Xanthic DG Clown going more of a yellow tint with age, how do you avoid that, you think?
I mean, I think they tend to stay nice, but I just think it's the quality of the clown, honestly, is the number one thing. I think they're variable. Yeah. We tend to keep the best animals year after year after year, and it tends to work towards the way we want to go. But I think generally speaking, if you get clowns with nice tight pattern with really clear blacks and good contrast, they will tend to make, versions of these that are better. If you have Xanthics, keeping ones that don't brown out as much year after year, you're line breeding essentially to have better results. I don't think there's probably some magic gene you can put into it, but DG does most of it.
And if we're talking morphs that are at the top of the food chain for you, Xanthic's up there. It has to be.
It is. Ultimately it's limited. You kind of heard it here first. I love Xanthic. Ultimately, you are cutting off a massive spectrum of combos when you say we're not going to have any color.
Right. But
there's a lot you can do in this last sliver that no one's really tapped into much.
Right. Again, you're making a black and white snake. You're going to have a roof over your head when it comes to the color, but the pattern is where it opens up. And
people love this contrast. I mean, it's very pleasing to the eye. You go black and white, anything. I mean, it's luxury, People. That's people.
So designer. It's so designer. I love it. Yeah. This is just
amazing. We'll do the zebra version of this. We get the zebra version. Of course, I don't know how it'll look different necessarily, but you got to have a black and white zebra. Just got to do it. So
110%. And how far are you from that?
Oh man. We have, triple and quad heads, but, hitting them might be, 5 years.
Yeah. 5 years or less.
Or, I mean, we can get lucky, but we don't count on it.
Right. But again, that luck does feel good when it happens.
Oh my goodness. That's what you.
And again, how many times have you been lucky, Justin? Quite a bit.
I've been lucky a lot, but if people saw all the unlucky times, they wouldn't have that impression as much.
That is so true, right? Yeah. People only see the glory side of things.
It's probably our fault. We only show the best stuff. We don't want to show all the ugly looking snakes that we make.
Well, I mean, why cause clouds when you don't need to? Like, just show all the wins. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, dude, this snake is just so inspiring. And also, man, I just excited to see where this project's headed for you. So we're gonna get down to it now. Okay, you can only pick 3, Justin. You can't do this whole like all my kids are my favorite type of thing. We need you to just choose 3. We're going to start from the Exantic over. It's 1, 2, 3, and then at the bottom 4, 5, 6. Okay. So
Okay.
what's your third that you're going to pick? We're going to start from 3 to 1. So what would be the third one that you would select from this graph right here?
I'm thinking just out of my personal preference, right?
Yes, this is what you would do. Now, it doesn't matter about the masses or what the audience think. This is Justin's personal pick right here.
I'm gonna do it based on what I'm most proud of, and I think I'm most proud of the Pompeii.
Okay, Pompeii, slot 3. Okay, what would be number 2?
Oh, I'm doing this wrong. So yeah, 3. Yeah, 3. Then okay. So if you're going the other 2,
Yeah,
I'm
3
gonna
to 1.
say
3 to 1.
Kraken next.
Okay, so Kraken gets the number. So hold on. So you kind of messed this up. So Pompeii would be number 1. That would be the GOAT.
It would be for like I'm just really. It's just, to me, it's like such a fond memory of making that animal, and the result that came from it.
Okay, and then number 2 is the Kraken.
The Kraken, yeah.
All right, and then who gets the third slot?
I'm gonna go Exantic DG Clown as far as 3. Like,
all right, man, there it is. So
changed my world the most. Yeah.
Pompeii number 1, Wookiee number 2, and Exantic DG Clown with all the other incomplete dominants number 3. You know what? To be fair, Justin, I feel like we should do this every year because I feel like it would change. Yeah. Again, but how can it not? I mean, that's the goal, right? I mean, the goal should be in a year from now, you're showing us other stuff. I mean, look at the other stuff you just showed. Like, that is insane. I mean, technically, again, I think we're looking at the most prolific combos that you've made, the ones that kind of put you on the map, but you're not done making stuff that's putting you on the map, my man. It's not over.
The most exciting stuff's to come. I really believe that. I'm so excited. We're over here pairing stuff for the first time, and we're thinking, oh, what does Zebra Monsoon look like? What does Zebra Puzzle look like? What did some of this stuff look like? And we haven't even made the double heads yet. Like, we're literally pairing for the double heads. And so to me, that's like, oh, I just love it. I love there's so much runway. There's so much to imagine. And that's just like simple double recessives. Then you add on all the codoms and like the laces and the patterns and the xanthics and like it is the moment of inspiration and then the work and then the seeing it someday. That's the big payoff. It's addicting.
Yeah, and again,
even in a down market, it's addicting.
Yeah, but what it depends on what people consider down. You know what I mean? So everyone has their own feel of things. Again, I'm nothing but excited right now for the ball python market. Just simply by you having on the show kind of really sets the tone on where things are headed, how we're not even done capping out what we're doing yet. I mean, we probably won't even be alive when that day comes. You know what I'm saying? It's just a never ending game. And that's what makes the ball python game is what it is. It's just, we're not ever done.
Well, Kobylka Jr. and MJ Jr. will be talking about this on the podcast someday.
Man, what a great episode, Justin. It's good to just talk to you one-on-one, man. It's been a long time. I'm just gonna say how much of an inspiration you've been to, like, not only myself, man, but anyone who watches this show. I think everything you do, man, as good as a business owner you are, I feel like there's nobody better out there who's leading the ball python game than you. I really mean that.
I appreciate that. Thank you. We love Trap Talk.
There you go. Yeah, I was gonna say,
keep up that honest spirit.
There was one scrambler lover out there who made a post saying, I don't understand why the big names in the industry support Trap Talk. What do you have to say to that, Justin?
I don't understand either, to be honest with you. You know what? I've been around it so long that I don't view ideas as the enemy. I think all ideas deserve to be tested.
I agree.
And by the audience and by the market, and not everyone's going to be hit 100%, hit 1,000. So I just think that, we talk about these things, we figure it out, and we see what happens. Everybody's got to put up to an extent their evidence, and I don't know. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of it. That's why I support MJ.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Guys, do me a favor. Go subscribe Kinova Reptiles on YouTube. Does Clutch have a YouTube channel or no? I can't remember.
We do. We need to update it more, but we got it.
Yeah. Okay. Any updates with Clutch before we let you go? Anything you want to mention about Clutch? Because you give Emilio updates before me. I don't know why, but what updates do you have on Clutch right now?
Dude, let me show you something that we're working on.
Let's do it.
So now if you go to Clutch, you don't even need an account. You can go to Clutch Community.
Okay.
And you can view everybody's clutches that are marked as public. So, of course, you can hide as much as you want on Clutch, but if you mark something as public, say, hey, I want the world to be able to see this clutch, it'll show up. And you can browse and say, okay, here's AEP, hatch these clutches. You go through the babies and look at them all, figure out what they are. Or you can go,
loves Clutch. He loves it.
Oh, yeah. And you can see, if they're for sale or not even. Go through people's stuff. And this is just the first step that people can browse and find their favorite snakes. Next step is you can bookmark any snake that you discovered that's amazing that you don't want to forget about, like you want to maybe take inspiration from. Or if you see a clutch that's incubating, if you go here too, you can see all the incubating clutches across the platform and see when they're due to hatch. And maybe you can just bookmark these incubating clutches, and so that you get a notification when it hatches, so you can see if maybe he hatched the snake that you need. So the idea is to make this into a community, make this into an awesome resource, and eventually we'll make it so that if you see an awesome animal and say, like, this animal is just killer, I want to bookmark this spot-nosed DGG sharp clown, for example, and other people like it, we're going to have basically leaderboards every day where you can say, this is the most liked snake across the entire platform this week, this month, this year. And hopefully it'll give people their flowers, right? If some known person doesn't have a big name in the industry, makes an awesome snake, they deserve to be recognized for it. And Clutch will preserve that and drive it up the list so that other people see it. So I'm really excited about it. We're going to create an awesome community here.
It's amazing. You know what I'll even do to make this even more exciting? Like, whoever is leading the board for like a week straight, I'll bring them on the show. Perfect.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah, definitely. And give them even more flowers, because I feel like that's what will create more excitement. Like, people deserve flowers in this game. They really do.
You can follow your breeders, and you follow your favorite breeder, and it'll let you know when they hatch a clutch or when they maybe make something new. And lots of there's amazing people all over on amazing people. Clutch, and some of the best names in the business. Here's Rec Room. I love them. I've never actually looked at their stuff.
Yeah, I love
Rec Room. Look at Rec Room, see all the stuff they're incubating, how much longer is left, and if you're on the platform, people can see your stuff as well. Man, they make amazing. Yeah, Bongo Fun.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyhow, I love it. I love the discovery part of it. If you love seeing something new, this is for you.
I'm going to pull rank right now. Once Chondro stuff becomes available on Clutch, you better tell me first, okay? I better be the first one to know, Justin.
I will tell you first, I swear.
Okay, cool. All right. Guys, do me a favor. Best in the business. Kinova Reptiles on Instagram. Subscribe on YouTube. And I cannot wait to have you back on. But do me a favor, guys. Give it up. It's a wrap for Justin Kobylka, ladies and gentlemen.
See you guys. Appreciate it.
Justin, hey, keep everything you're doing, man. I appreciate it. What an episode. Great to talk to Justin. And what a way to start the day off, man. I'm about to go hit the gym, and then I have another podcast with my buddy Patrick Holmes and Brian Fisher, Chondros School of Hard Knocks, okay? If anyone out there wants to know some really tough truths about chondros, you're not going to want to miss this podcast later on, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. 2 of the most jaded but honest people in the chondro game coming on the show. These guys are best friends, and I have the privilege of being a part of a group chat where I'm the little dog in that group chat. I get treated like one and everything. It's crazy, okay? But you guys are in for a treat later on. Back-to-back episodes on today's Trap Talk with MJ. Appreciate all love and support. And last but not least, guys, remember, head over to Morph Market's YouTube channel right now. Be ready for Mark Bailey's Reptiles Collection Tour, where we look at all his projects, some amazing stuff Mark's been working with for the last 30 years that he's been in the game. So cannot wait. Very excited. But again, what an episode. Shout out to Justin. Shout out to Kinova. Shout out to Clutch. Episode 767 in the books. Quick word from our sponsors, and I'll see you here later tonight. Cheers. Sorry for the interruption, folks, but a quick word from our sponsor. Shout out to tonight's sponsor brought to you by ZoomEd.
ZoomEd is proud to be supporting the Trap Talk Reptile Network. At ZoomEd, reptiles are our passion. For over 48 years, we've been creating premium foods, supplies, and habitats for reptiles and other exotic animals. We're a company made up of hobbyists that test our products on the hundreds of animals that we care for here every single day. Whether you're an established breeder or a first-time hobbyist picking up your first ball python, ZoomEd has you covered with everything you need to keep your animals happy and healthy.
I'm excited to talk about this new product with ZoomEd called the Slither Sense. It is a remote temperature and humidifying monitoring system, which we all know how important temperature and humidity is to your reptile. And for you to have remote access to your temperature and your humidity in your reptile room could really, really be a game changer for the longevity of you keeping reptiles. So guys, make sure you check out that product. Find the link in the description below. Click on it right now. Give me your feedback in the comments below. Let me know how you're liking a brand new ZoomEd product. Shout out to Focus Cube Habitats, the #1 PVC enclosure in the reptile industry. Hands down, everything you guys see behind me are 3x2x2 PVC design enclosures by Steven and Ashley over at Focus Cube Habitats. My entire room at this point, all Focus Cube Habitat enclosures, and that is for a real reason. My reptiles love them. I've had majority of these Focus Cube Habitats behind me for over 6 years now. So guys, if you're looking to expand your reptile room and get yourself some new enclosures, no better place to visit than Focus Cube Habitat. You head over to focuscubehabitats.com and see how many different design enclosures you could choose from. And you can also follow them on Instagram and stay updated with all current new enclosures on their YouTube channel. So thank you so much, Steven and Ashley over at Focus Cube Habitats. And I think I got new enclosures in the driveway, so I gotta go. Shout out to Focus Cube Habitats, you are the best. Shout out to tonight's sponsor, and that is Clutch, the #1 organization app in the ball python game today. Also, tonight's episode is brought to you by Kinova Reptiles, the biggest world industry leading ball python company in the hobby, in the industry. So excited to announce this partnership with Clutch and Kinova Reptiles. No name that needs an introduction. As you guys already know, if you're looking to invest with the best, Kinova Reptiles is the way to go. And again, if you want to be organized, if you want to be ahead of the game, there's no better organization app in the ball python game than Clutch. Thank you so much to the entire Clutch team. Thank you so much, Kinova and the entire Kinova Reptile team. Please continue to keep doing what you're doing. Nothing but inspiration, nothing but excitement coming from Kinova Reptiles and Clutch. And I'm excited to have more information to announce to you guys here in 2026. Thank you so much, Clutch and Kinova Reptiles. Shout out to tonight's sponsor, and that's the one and only MORPH Market and MORPH Market shipping. One of the biggest exciting things about the reptile hobby over the past couple years is MORPH Market shipping, taking everything to the next level. Anything as far as reptile purchasing or selling needs can all be done on MORPH Market's website. So I highly suggest you go check it out, especially if you're in the market of purchasing your first, second, or third, or fourth reptile. You can find a bunch of legitimate breeders on MORPH Market's platforms. They stand very tall on representing the best breeders we have in the hobby. So don't look anywhere else when it comes to looking for your new reptile. Not to mention, if you're looking for aquatics or your next plant, MORPH Market's a spot for you as well. Make sure you head over to morphmarket.com. And the best thing about MORPH Market's platform, you could ship directly from their website with MORPH Market shipping. MORPH Market shipping has saved this hobby billions of dollars as a whole. I myself saved thousands with MORPH Market shipping last year due to their insanely cheap rates. So definitely go take advantage of these rates on top of the amazing customer service that comes along with MORPH Market shipping. Shout out to Darian and Zach, and shout out to the entire MORPH Market team. So proud to be a part of this team. Thank you so much for MORPH Market shipping and MORPH Market, and so excited to announce new MORPH Market features that are going to be hitting the reptile hobby real soon, like live sales on MORPH Market. Thank you so much, MORPH Market and MORPH Market shipping. Thank you for all the fellow support. Thank you so much for anyone who watches the Trap Talk Reptile Network. Hit that like button. If you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, you'll be notified of every new episode dropping here out of the network 7 days a week. And also by hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, it pushes this network out to other new keepers coming into the hobby. So by you doing that, it does more than you think. So thank you so much again for all the support. And if you're not already a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button. We're doing big things over here and we really appreciate it.